Hello, lovies! In case you're wondering whose voice you hear each time you watch videos on this channel, well, that is my voice. And in case you're wondering who I am exactly, you may call me V. I'm a graduate of Master of Arts in English Language and Literature Teaching. I have 10 years of experience teaching in college. I used to be a broadcast DJ too, and I used to work for the business process outsourcing industry too. Right now, I'm a private tutor, business owner, and a young content creator here on YouTube. Thank you so much for your support. Keep on watching and don't forget to click like and subscribe. I'd love to do more videos for you guys. Happy learning! Much love! Mwah! Hello, lovies! In case you're wondering whose voice you hear each time you watch videos on this channel, well, that is my voice. And in case you're wondering who I am exactly, you may call me V. I'm a graduate of Master of Arts in English Language and Literature Teaching. I have 10 years of experience teaching in college. I used to be a broadcast DJ too, and I used to work for the business process outsourcing industry too. Right now, I'm a private tutor, business owner, and a young content creator here on YouTube. Thank you so much for your support. Keep on watching and don't forget to click like and subscribe. I'd love to do more videos for you guys. Happy learning! Much love! Mwah!
Good evening, everybody. Check your timepieces. It's already 7:31 in the evening. Today is September 13, 2020. Merry Christmas, everybody. It's not December yet, but I know it's the Philippine culture that every time the Burr months hit the calendars, it's already Christmas for us. So Merry Christmas to you guys. My name is V, and welcome to another live stream episode of Ask V. It is a segment from my YouTube channel, Learn with V. If you have subscribed to it already, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. I love you. And if you haven't subscribed to it yet, it's not too late. Please subscribe and help the YouTube community for my channel grow. All right. Anyhow, how are you? Today is Sunday. I feel unusual about going live streaming every Sunday because normally I would do it every Monday. But like what I told you from the last live stream, there has been changes on our schedule. So from today onwards, it'll be Ask V Sunday already, starting at 7:30 p.m. So let me know, guys, how are you tonight? How was your weekend treating you so far? Was it good? Problematic, stressful, whatever condition you're in right now, I hope you are getting through it with fabulousness in you, right? Don't be too stressed. There are a lot of problems in the world already. So, chill, vibe, pamper yourself, whatever you need to do to be sure to make sure that you're doing well despite the problems that you have, do them. All right. And also, if you are watching this right now, you may either go to YouTube or here on Facebook because we are simultaneously live streaming. And if you fail to catch the live stream, do not worry because this episode is also being recorded. So if you're watching the replay right now, what's up to you guys? Howdy. I hope you're doing fine. And wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I hope you're doing well. And so today we have another topic to talk about. And like what I told you on my previous post, we shall discuss for tonight the top 10 reasons why couples fight, or, if they cannot salvage the relationship anymore, they would just rather break up. And so, like always, I will be joined for tonight by my resident co-host, nonetheless, always for me, with me, by me, Sir Drew. Hi, what's up? How are you?
Yoza! How are you, V? And of course, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of our viewers and listeners to your segment, which is Ask V.
What's up? How are you? I missed you for 2 weeks. We have not done live for 2 weeks.
We did it. We were so preoccupied with so many things.
I know it has been a crazy 2 weeks for me. Imagine doing a lot of things and being in front of the computer all the time, the entire day. It's crazy.
It definitely is, but maybe because I started early before you, remember?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
in terms of the start of the semester and whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
um, I got a hang of it already. It's more of like being able to sustain that every single day. That's the hard
Yeah.
part of
I like the little cartoon thing on your screen right now. Is that Baymax?
yeah, it's Baymax. I got something
It's
to
so cute.
yeah. And it's Christmas, so I pulled off some of my Christmas lights thingy.
Yeah, cool. I greeted people watching us right now Merry Christmas already because you know how it goes for us.
Yeah, once the Burr months start, people start to prepare already for the holidays.
Mm-hmm. All right. I just want to say a quick shout out to the people who's joined the live very early. To Ma'am MJ Twazan, hello to you. Thank you for watching and joining the live stream. Clarice Canlas is also here. Hello, my love. My tito, Nolly Lapus, is also watching. And John Espera, our friend from Tondo, is also watching right now. Jenny Kunanan, who's won 1,000 pesos worth of groceries, has joined the live right now. Jenny, I still
Oh,
owe you that
cool.
1,000 pesos, but don't worry, I'll be sending it to you just when I have enough time to squeeze it in my schedule. And of course, Marilyn Sato, Mami Marilyn from Japan, is also watching us right now. Hello to you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Okay. Like I said today, Sir Drew, we'll talk about the top 10 reasons why couples fight or break up. Now, you don't need to be necessarily in a relationship for you to understand the dynamics of this topic. If you're single, in a relationship, married, just got out of the relationship, divorced, whatever, status you are in right now, I'm pretty sure that you can relate to this one because the things that we will share to you today are pretty much generic. Okay.
Mm,
And basically, you can relate to them. And let's start because it's Sunday and people
yeah.
want to sleep early for a Monday.
I heard your intro a while ago. It's somehow weird to have your program every Sunday because ever since it started, we often do it every Mondays and greeting everyone for that
Happy
week.
Monday.
And for a side note though, it's weird that you are in your you put your hair down for this session.
Oh, yes, I do. And I'm wearing an oversized t shirt. I'm ready to sleep in a bit.
Yeah. So chill.
I know. I mean, it's a Sunday. Like I told you, it's been crazy 2 weeks for me. So I kind of feel like, let's just do some laid back live streaming for today because, yeah. Anyway. All right, like what I said, let's begin with number 10, top 10 reasons why couples fight or break up. So while you're eating your dinner right now or breakfast or lunch, I hope you keep us on your background. It doesn't have to be, watching us literally. You just can listen to us and join the conversation. Feel free to drop your comments, questions, greetings, and whatnots on the comment section of this live stream, either on YouTube or here on Facebook. All right, let's begin. Top 10, number 10. Okay. Couples fight, well, normally, it's a normal thing that couples fight, but one of the things that they fight about would be responsibilities. And either you're married or you're lived in partners or you're just boyfriends and girlfriends and you see each other, casually or in schedule or by schedule, you sometimes fight about responsibilities. What are these responsibilities? Well, basically, they are the chores, yung mga obligasyon, responsibilidad that we normally do within the household. If you're married or lived in partners, or yun nga, sometimes you see each other. You go to each other's places. So what are these chores? You have cooking, cleaning, grocery, bills, etc. And sometimes when the responsibility is being taken care of one-sidedly, nagiging issue siya sa mga magjojowa or magkakarelasyon. In our culture, in the Philippine culture, normally it is the guy who provides financially. So, siya yung sa bills. Si Mrs. naman or si girlfriend, siya yung sa grocery. At the same time, sa cleaning and cooking, normally, stereotypically speaking, it's the girl who does those responsibilities. And in the kind of situation that we are in right now, hindi na kasi ganon. It's cohabitation. So, wala nang gender bias when it comes to responsibilities. What the man can do, the woman can do, and vice versa. So, Sir Drew, what's your take on this? Couples fighting because of a one-sided responsibility.
Maybe what I understand with that item is there's a difference between how each person is in terms of their attitude, in terms of their mindsets, in terms of how they behave. So, and inclusively of that
Mm-hmm.
of their principles and their beliefs. So, for example, if they have this kind of mindset regarding yung finances ng bahay, for example, ng household, then they might have a different take on it. And normally, ang alam natin, we cannot generalize it, pero typically, ang alam natin, kapag sa pera, lagi ang wife o yung babae yung laging nag-handle ng pera.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes there are some tao dito, there are some tao dito, ayun lang i-take yung responsibility na yun, or at some point pinapasa na lang nila, or minsan nga baliktad din, lalo kapag pera, mas gusto na lang sila ng humawak nun without
Mm-hmm.
the proper compromise between each other. Yung parang ganun mga bagay. So it just really that's just one
Mm-hmm.
example though. But if we'll put it into context ng responsibilities, talagang makikita natin na we are really different in terms of our personalities, in terms of our attitudes as well as our beliefs. So
Mm-hmm.
ma-affect din yung understanding natin ng mga responsibilities na yun.
Yeah. And we have to establish the fact then or the truth that in a relationship, it has to be an equal take of all the responsibilities, especially if you're married already or you're lived in partners. Like if, for example, both of you are working already, probably you could split the bills or even the grocery and the cooking or the
Mm.
cleaning, stuff like that that we do at home. Or kung sino yung mas magaling magluto, siya talaga yung in charge. But sometimes, ang nangyayari kasi, hindi siya nagiging 50-50. So, yung isa, feeling niya, siya lahat yung umaako ng responsibility. And
Mm.
sometimes, syempre, tao lang din yon, nagkakaroon ng point na nagbe-break down yung tao or nagkakaroon siya ng mga outbursts or pag susumbat na, what are you doing in this relationship? Ako laging naglilinis, ikaw lang nagkakalat,
Mm.
ako laging nagluluto, ang ilalagay mo na nga lang yung plato sa sink, hindi mo pa magawa. So these kinds of, trivial things, minuscule, minute, whatever your adjective for it is, nagiging silang big problem kapag nag-compile na or naiipon na. Kasi sometimes we don't really regard them as issues in the relationship because they naturally happen in the relationship or in the process of being in a relationship. Pero pag napuno ka, parang napaka-major issue nila kasi parang, alam mo yun, walang nangyayaring pagbabago, walang
Mm.
help from the other person, laging ikaw
Yeah.
lang lahat.
And inclusively dun sa sinabi mo, we have this understanding about relationship na we are in a relationship, meaning dalawa tayo dito, hindi isang tao lang. So, mas
Mhm.
naiinis tayo kapag na-realize natin, bakit ako lagi? Bakit ako na lang lagi? Hindi ba pwedeng tayo?
Mhm.
Kasi tayong dalawa ang nasa relasyon, hindi ako lang. So, tama ka sa sinabi
Yes.
mo, when you reach your tipping point, tapos parang na-realize mo na, uy, oo nga no, bakit ako na lang laging gumagalaw, ako na lang laging nag-e-effort, paano naman siya? Ayun na, it might start your quarrels with each other. Minsan hindi man yung sobrang complicated ng mga issues. Yung mga petty lang talaga. Like for example, yung hindi paghuhugas ng pinggan,
Uh-huh.
pagwawalis, o kahit o yung simpleng pagluluto, hindi pa naka-prepare, 'di ba? Nagiging those very very petty things nagiging malaki para sa'yo kasi napuno ka na.
Mhm. And especially in our culture too, I hope I don't offend any guy with this remark or this statement. Hindi kasi ganun ka-domesticated ang mga lalaki dito sa kultura natin. The idea or the culture that we have is kapag lalaki, siya ang bahalang magtrabaho sa labas, he'll provide financially. Pero pagdating sa bahay, ang babae lahat ang may responsibility. Cooking, cleaning, laundry, raising of the children and whatnot. Pero kagaya nga ng sinabi ko kanina, it's already a different, household landscape for us nowadays kasi even the girls, they work. And sometimes, pareho silang uuwi ng bahay, wala pang pagkain, mag-aaway yan, sinong magluluto, sinong maglilinis nito, sinong gagawa sa laundry. So sabi ko nga, sabi mo din, it's a minor issue, but you have to really talk it out, especially that in a relationship it's a give and take process talaga, hindi pwedeng siya lang or ikaw lang palagi. So you
Yeah.
have to set a certain schedule, like for today, honey, I'm on a meeting until this hour, so I'll go home really hungry, and if you're busy at work too, probably we could just buy something for to go or take out. Alam mo yun, chill na lang tayo, vibe na lang tayo sa bahay. You don't really force the other person to cook for me. No, clean for me because I'm working for you. Hindi siya ganon. You have to understand too that the other person has other things to take care of besides you.
Yeah. Totoo yun, totoo yun.
Diba? But yeah, like what I said, responsibilities at home are really one of the factors or the reasons why people or relationships fail, or couples fight about it. Not
Yeah.
really a major argument, but like what I said and you said, kapag naipon, haha, it's gonna lead to something bigger and more complicated. Right? And especially if you're married already, it's cohabitation, pareho niyong obligasyon yan. If you're lived-in partners, you might rethink or think twice, thrice, and four times na, ano ba, itutuloy ko ba to sa marriage? Kasi kung live-in partners kami, ganito na tong taong to, I'll have to spend the rest of my life dealing with this person. And he might not change. She might not
Mm.
change. Will I be able to deal with this character or personality for the rest of my life? So, factor din siya for you to think about it.
Yeah.
Especially if it's, a deal breaker for you. Taong
Mm.
tamad, taong hindi ka tinutulungan, taong pinapaako sa'yo lahat ng responsibilities. What do you
Yeah.
think, Sir Drew?
Um, well, nasa responsibilities pa tayo. Nawala kasi ako kanina anyways. Nasa
Yeah, it's
responsibilities
alright.
pa ba tayo?
Yep, we are.
Responsibilities. Yeah. Um, Siguro I'll try to extract what you've mentioned a while ago. Mabilis kasi yung ano yung face mo dun sa ano sa statement. Pero
Mm-hmm.
um it really boils down to proper communication with each other, especially when you are
Yep.
trying to reassess kung ano yung responsibilities niyo sa bahay, sa inyong dalawa, sa inyong relasyon, and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
um, proper communication is really key so that you could find a way to compromise with each other. Hindi naman kailangan na entirely you lay everything out eh. Pero ang importante dito, you reach to a point na parang, yun nga, sabi mo, I think you mentioned this a while ago na, sa Monday, ito yung gagawin natin, sa Tuesday, ito naman gagawin natin, sa Monday, ikaw yung sa kusina, sa Friday, ako naman, and so on and so forth. Yung mga ganyan mga bagay.
Mm-hmm.
Parang ano, sabi ko nga, these are very small and petty things, and you don't necessarily need to solve them with very grand resolutions. They're really simple to do as long as you really communicate with each other.
I agree. And also, I think it's important to raise this one na in a relationship, you don't have to categorize your responsibilities based on your gender. Like for example, lalaki, ang responsibilidad ko lang magtrabaho, mag-provide financially. Babae, ang responsibility ko lang magluto, maglinis ng bahay, mag-alaga ng mga bata. That's not how you deal with a relationship. It has to be a flexible type of relationship that whatever the other person can do, regardless of his or her gender, allow him or allow her.
I think you're just opening up or reminding the viewers once again that we already changed across many years, the family dynamics and the gender dynamic has already changed and evolved already.
Mm-hmm.
So alam mo yun, there are men who are stay at home husbands already, and their wives are those who are really working, and there are men who yung single parents sila, pero sila yung mother, sila yung tatay, sila lahat. So there's really a change already in the dynamics of how our family is. So it
Mm-hmm.
really isn't that much of a big deal if there's this exchange of your roles and your responsibilities sa bahay.
Mm-hmm. But not everybody will understand that kasi other traditional families would still, enforce the idea na ang
Yeah.
lalaki, ito lang ang obligasyon, ang babae, ito ang obligasyon. But what we're trying to say here is that, because we're millennials, we're 90s babies, I think it's high time that we restructure the family na kung sino talaga yung kayang gawin kung ano man yon, allow the person regardless of gender. And of course, with a little help from each other, I'm pretty sure that the relationship will work out pretty well as long as hindi nagiging one-sided ang responsibility.
Hmm. True.
Diba?
Totoo yan.
Ayan siya. So, a quick hello lang to the others who's joined the live. We have Marlon Pineda Beltran. Hello to you. Roel Alfonso. Hello, Kuya. Rochelle Gomez Jagueta is also watching. Hello, Rochelle. Babs Carrion is also here. Hello. Romel Supan Mariano. Hello, Kuya Romel. Jamaica Canlas. Hello, Jam. Annyeonghaseyo. Tita Bernadette Lapus Lazatin is also watching. And Zane Care Di Baraton is also watching. A quick congratulations nga pala to my Tita Con and Tita Ruben for their bouncing baby boy.
Aw,
Congratulations to you guys. Caleb
congratulations.
Nikolai, super cute. I met him last Sunday. Super cute. Yep. And also, hello to Gray, Heartfilia, Fullbuster, and Jenny and Bulaon Angit Aguas. Ayan. Thank you so much for joining the live. So that is number 10, responsibilities. At the end of the day, if you are in a relationship, it is a give and take process. Regardless kung ikaw ang gumagawa ng kung ano man sa bahay or other things that, you do for the relationship to work or you do for each other. Okay? As long as it's not one-sided, hindi ka lang bigay ng bigay at hindi ka lang naman din tanggap ng tanggap, my goodness. You have to balance it out. Right? But that's number 10. Just number 10. All right, let's move now to another reason why couples break up or fight. This one is a little heavy because it's finances. Ako, when I was single, this was one of my fears actually to have an argument with my partner regarding finances. Hindi po wala na kaming makuhang pera na ipapakain sa mga anak namin. That was my greatest fears kasi when it involves money and when it involves children and their well-being, ang hirap na niyang sagutin in a relationship. But if you don't have children, of course, this is another factor to consider kasi pinag-aawayan din to ng mga magkakarelasyon. So, how do they fight about it? Number 1, couples fight when one has to spend more for the relationship over the other. Halimbawa, nagde-date, laging yung isa yung nagbabayad. Alright? Or couples fight when one cannot provide enough for the needs of both of them or the family kung meron ng mga anak. Halimbawa, may trabaho naman si guy or si girl pero nagkukulang pa rin. So, minsan pinag-aawayan talaga yan. Another thing is, couples fight when the other brings more money to the family. Ito, ego issue. Parehong nagtatrabaho pero mas malaki yung sweldo siguro ng babae. Kaya parang na-emasculate yung lalaki. We don't know. We can't tell. But it's a factor. It's a reason why sometimes couples fight. And another one, couples fight when the other one spends too much. Alam mo yon, yung gastador, gastadora. So, Sergio, what do you think? Finances.
Sabi mo nga, this is a little bit heavy and it's somehow hard to put even a certain sense of resolution towards it. Kasi in a relationship, even though, especially if you're married already, number 1 siya sa sa kailangan mo consider kasi kailangan mong itaguyod yung buhay ninyo, yung life ninyo. Pero for one thing din, you really need to just, sinasabi ko just, no, pero you really have to consider how to utilize your finances quite well. So it's more of budgeting, it's more of you talking to each other, ano yung kailangan natin gawin, ano yung susunod and so on and so forth. To be honest, sabi nga ni Gray Heartfield Full Buster, sabi, as for me, finances should be in the top 5 reasons why couples break up. Based on what I've read with some articles, kasama siya sa isa sa mga top 5 or at least yung mga nasa pinakataas na reasons. Pero it really is dependent on the context kasi niya. Okay? With one book that I've read, or article pala that I've read, sabi niya, you really need to talk out about your finances, but it should not be your reason why you need to fight. It really struck me, nga naman, no? Kailangan na pag-usapan, pero hindi naman kailangan na pag-awayan nyo yung mga finances na yan. Kasi you really need to compromise and you need to set your priorities and which are your urgents para ma-address nyo sila.
Yeah, I agree. You have to talk it out. Again, communication is always one of the keys to maintaining a relationship. However, I must say this, na kapag pera na talagang pinag-uusapan, sometimes couples, they lose their logic and their reason. Alam mo yun, heated na yung discussion, ang hirap maghanap ng source of income, lalo na ngayon, we have pandemic, maraming nalilay off, alam mo yun, lahat ng family members nasa bahay lang. So, masyadong mahirap yung dynamics ng pera pagdating sa bahay. And so, I think it's a must na kapag ang pera na ang nagiging issue ng magkakarelasyon, whether mag-asawa, lived in, or boyfriend and girlfriend, dapat talaga level-headed tsaka cool-headed. Yung, alam mo yun, let's sort it out. Let's think it through. Saan tayo pwedeng kumuha ng
Yeah.
finances and so on and so forth. But I also agree with what you said na hindi siya dapat maging dahilan para mag-break up. But mind you, some people just opt to end the relationship, especially if it's, uh, rock bottom na talaga. Alam mo yun,
Mm-mm.
wala na talagang mapagkuhanan and there are children involved and sometimes nag-extend na sa mga in-laws, sa friends para lang makapag-solicit ng financial support. Alam mo na, especially if talagang mahirap makapaghanap ng source of income. Right? This brings us to the idea na dapat bago talaga mag-asawa or mag-live-in or mag-boyfriend and girlfriend, financially, kahit hindi ka stable, at least man lang, you have your resources ready.
Mm.
Diba?
Naalala naalala ko yung ano, kasi I've taught my students way back sa isang
Mhm.
subject, psychology subject, particularly with interviews. Tapos nasabi ko sa, guys, ngayon alam niyo kung paano yung tamang way na pag-interview, tamang mga questions to ask. Sabi mo yun, ilatag nyo ngayon na kapag meron kayong boyfriend o girlfriend, i-interview muna siya. Ilatag nyo muna yung mga questions na dapat, yung income niya, kung may trabaho ba, yung ganun mga bagay. Kasi oo nga naman, you really need to consider if you are both financially ready. Take note, both financially ready. Dapat hindi lang isa yung ready financially. Okay?
Mhm. Ayan. My mom said from YouTube, sabi niya it's a common sense na rin. I think she's referring to, both parties or both partners being responsible enough for each other. Yung
Yeah.
first topic natin a while back. And then
Mm-mm.
Larissa Dizon said, both should compromise kung ano ang priority. And she added, both should manage their finances. Might it be hiwalay na finances or magkasama? Don't let it slip kasi kapag pera ang pinag-uusapan, mahirap talaga. Kaya both should compromise. I have to agree with Larissa. Dito sa Philippines kasi, hindi pa tayo masyadong, how do I put it? We are aware but we don't practice it. Like, prenuptial agreement, na pera ko, pera mo, before we get married, you won't touch mine. I wouldn't be, meddling with your finances. But whatever we
Mm-mm.
come up with while we're married, sa atin pareho yun.
Yeah.
It's really up to the couple on how they will manage or split the finances in terms of percentage. Magkano sa sahod ko ang pupunta sa savings natin, magkano sa sahod mo ang pupunta sa savings
Mm.
natin, ano lang yung gagalawin natin. So it's really up to you guys kung paano yung dynamics na finances nyo in the relationship. But I think this is a great suggestion from Larissa that you have to talk it out kung paano nyo i-manage yung separate finances nyo and finances nyo together as a couple.
Yeah.
Right? Especially kung yung isa magastos, yung isa hindi. Alam mo yon, may mga gustong binibili yung isa na hindi nag-agree yung isa. At least you have some amounts right there na appropriated dun sa bagay na yon.
Tama.
Hindi nyo siya
Kumbaga meron kang mga
pag-aawayan.
reserve. Tama. Kumbaga may mga reserva ka. If you have something
Mhm.
to buy for yourself or as a gift for your partner, maybe, ay, at least meron ka pang gastos na hindi na nadadamay or nagagastos yung pinaka-core source ng ano nyo, ng mga ng finances ninyo.
Mhm. And I even see some couples na gumagamit sila ng mga mason jar and then they label them like this is for travel, this is for movie night, this is for date night, this is for new clothes, yung mga ganong klaseng strategy.
Yeah, call it traditional but it works actually.
It does.
ang dami ko dito mga anik-anik na puro tigbabarya at saka kung ano-ano. And it really works. Kapag napuno
It
na, then of
does.
course that's the time that we really need to organize it. No, diba?
Mhm. Yeah. And you also see transparent kayo sa isa't isa how the finances go and where do your money go as well. Alam nyo
Yeah.
pareho.
Yeah.
Diba? I think that's a good thing to do, a practice to do. And then we
Parang
have
naalala ko
another.
rin yung
I'm sorry, go ahead.
yung naalala ko sa sa Up, remember if you recall the yung isang scene doon na they have this very big jar that they're
Mhm.
reserving for their trip yata nun, an adventure
Mhm.
trip. And then the reason why I opened that up is that at least, sabi mo nga kanina, at least transparent siya na if you have a goal, for instance, for example, meron kang alkansya dyan, tapos nilabel niya na pang bakasyon yung dalawa.
Mhm.
Or like, ilagay nyo may Boracay maybe, or maybe Baguio, or maybe outside of the Philippines. pag wala ng COVID, for example. Ayan. At least makikita niyo na, uy, napupuno na, and so on and so forth. Ito yung pinagtrabahuhan niyo together. So alam mo yun, parang not only are you not only did you show a compromise with each other, but you also showed each other that um, together you can work for your goals. Together you can
Exactly.
reach whatever dream that you're aspiring. So it's
Mhm.
very beneficial as well to build your relationship, especially if you're just starting off pa lang.
Mhm. Yep. I like that what you said kasi parang it shows both of you that together we're a power couple. We can do
Yeah,
things possible if you just,
yeah,
prioritize our finances correctly or our
yeah.
dreams properly, right? Very well. Another comment right here from Kuya Romel. He said, not only couples, even magkakaibigan o magkakamag-anak, iba na ang usapan pag pera. Kaya dapat linawin kung hiram ba o hingi. Naku po! Ayan, medyo connected sa topic pero pwede siyang maging ibang topic pa, right?
Yeah.
Especially kapag yung mga kamag-anak natin hingi ng hingi sa atin kasi siguro naka-abroad tayo or tayo yung malaki yung sinasahod, akala nila tumatabo lang tayo ng pera here and there without really realizing na ang hirap talagang kumita ng pera nowadays.
Totoo yan.
'Di ba? So, yon. Alright, thank you so much for your comments. Ayan, si Larissa Dison, nagpadagdag siya dito. Sabi niya, especially impulsive buyers kayo. No need naman kwentahan lahat, but we need to be mindful din. Baka hindi mabayaran yung need talaga. Yeah,
Totoo yun. Lalo
definitely.
na kapag yung mga dalawang, mga 99, mga 10, yung mga kapag dumating na yung mga sale na yan, ayan.
Oo. Alam mo ba, lalo na ngayong pandemic, kahit hindi mo kailangan yung isang bagay, kapag nag-sale na si Lazada, si Shopee, hindi mo, lalo na kaming mga babae, kung ano-anong abubot lang yung nakikita namin on sale, hindi namin kailangan binibili namin. So, if your partner is not understanding of that kind of behavior, whether you're a girl or a boy, you have to ask for permission. Hey, love, is it okay if I buy this? Tapos, tatanong ng partner mo, why do you need to buy it? And then you have to explain, of course. Then, mag-contemplate ka din, do I really need it or do I just want it? Diba? Yung mga ganong bagay-bagay. Para hindi rin pinag-aawayan yung finances.
True.
Ayan. Very
O
quickly, I wanna
ikaw,
say
nakaano ka
ay,
ba?
sorry. Yes, go ahead.
Kumusta ang 99 experience mo?
99, I did not. I'm proud of myself. Wala akong binili nung 99 sale.
Oh! Hindi
I think,
marupok ang kanyang puso.
I think it's been a month already that I have not done online shopping yata. I'm not sure. But, I'm really just glad and thankful that my husband is not very strict when it comes to me buying things, especially when he knows I need them. I need pero yung iba wants lang talaga. So, I understand kapag medyo naiinis na. Ayan. So, I just wanna say hello to Russell Quito who gave us a 10. Hindi ko siya ma-up sa comment kasi it's an icon, but he gave us a 10. Thank you for appreciating our live stream, Russell. And then, sabi pa, ito, Bianca Amor Tocayo. She's also watching us right now. Sir Ivan Martin is also here. Hello, sir. Bernadette Calara Pangilinan is also watching. Cole Lopez is also here. Nechiwo is also here. And Benner Dizon is also here. And then Larissa commented, I marked myself safe too from the 99.
Larissa, alalahanin mo, may 10.
May susunod pa yan.
May susunod pa yan.
Yeah. Nakakaloka nga ang mga online shopping, ano bang tawag sa kanila, malls? Kasi dati naging once a year thing lang yung mga 998877. Ngayon, monthly basis.
Yeah, it's
Diba?
their
So anyway,
strategy.
we have to stop
Napansin ko na yan.
Hanggat maaari, wag tayong marupok. Alright, so that's for finances, alright? Just like responsibilities and finances, talk it out. Kung hindi kailangan paggagastusan, wag mo nang gawin, especially sa panahon ng pandemic. You have to save up. Use your finances wisely. Sabi ni Gray Heartfilia Fullbuster, hanggang 12-12 pa yan. I agree, we agree. Lalo na sa Pasko, Diyos ko, 100% off, sale. Libre na. Yun na lang delivery fee yung babayaran mo.
parang hindi na rin worth it yung 12-12 kasi every month meron kang hihintayin eh, 1-1, 2-2.
Yeah.
Lagi meron. Kaya nga yun nga, going back to our item, you really need to understand what your finances are. Kailangan i-preserve at i-reserve
Mhm.
ang mga finances ninyo. Kung hindi kailangan, then try to contemplate it further. Kung kailangan, when I say kailangan, talagang need ha, kasi talagang
Mhm.
may pupuntahan talaga siya, then that's the only time that you could tawag dito, spend for that. Okay?
Yep. And the both of you must learn how to, I don't know how to translate it in English, pero yung maghigpit ng sinturon, the saying in
Oo.
Filipino, diba? You have
Yeah.
to tighten your budget if you have to. Kasi nga, sa panahon ngayon, maraming walang trabaho, nalilay off and all that. Yung mga dating nagagawa natin when we were pandemic-free, alam mo yun, Friday night, magde-date kayo, Starbucks dito, Coffee Bean dito, movie dito, date dito. Those things, yes, they're nice to do as couples, but you have to remember too na if you wanna establish really a relationship, finances is one of the foundations. Ayan. All right. Sabi dito ni Mami Marilyn Sato, before we proceed to the next one, I agree. In my case, I've been collecting receipts every time spending to know how much we spend in a month. Yes, that is
Yes,
good
totoo yan.
auditing of your finances, Mami.
Yes.
Oo. And if your husband, if ever si hubby lang po yung nagtatrabaho for the family, if ever he asks you, o bakit ganito na lang yung balance ng account natin, or bakit naubos agad yung binigay kong pambudget sa'yo, at least you have a reference to tell him na kasi ganito, kasi ganyan, you know. He wouldn't think twice na baka nag-spend ka, overspend ka on something na hindi naman kailangan for the family or for the household.
Mm.
I think that's a
Parang
good advice too.
parang ang ano yan, ang tip yan kapag yung jowa, yung partner mo,
Mhm. Yung every quincenas
okay,
or at 30 may
may audit.
audit.
Oo, may audit.
Yeah.
Every month may accreditation sa bahay.
Oo,
May audit
kailangan
sa
mong
bahay.
i-cluster, debit ba, credit ba,
Oo.
'di ba? Cash on hand ba 'to? Yeah, but
Oo nga.
kidding aside, I think transparency with finances is really a good idea to consider when it comes to, being in a relationship with
Yeah.
someone. Well, we're talking about relationships na live-in or kasal na. But if you're boyfriends and girlfriends tapos magde-date kayo, this is a simple thing. Usually kasi in the beginning, ang lalaki talaga ang gagastos for the girl eh. But in the long run, if you're already in the relationship and you've been going out for a few months already, it wouldn't hurt kung si girl din naman mag-o-offer ng, ako naman ang magbabayad this time. Split the bill. Diba? I still believe that chivalry is not dead, but then again, we call for equality. So, wag naman tayong abuso din, girls, na laging si guy, dahil sinusuyo tayo, liniligawan tayo, siya lang ang gagastos. If we have our means, offer. If he declined, that's chivalrous of him. But if he accepts, don't take it against him. Diba? It only means that he also honors your capacity to spend for him, which is nice sometimes. I said sometimes kasi wag naman yung guys, wag naman abuso. Ay, mayaman tong jowa ko. So, papalibre na lang ako ng papalibre ng papalibre. That's not a good thing to do at all. Di ba? So, yan. That's for finances. Now, let's go to the 8th one. Oh my gosh! In-laws. Okay? Let's contextualize this. If you're married or lived in partners, of course, you deal with in-laws or parents of your partner. If you're boyfriends or girlfriends, I'm pretty sure you also need to deal with the parents of your boyfriend or your girlfriend. And sometimes, or if not sometimes, most of the time, in-laws would be one of the reasons why boyfriends, girlfriends, couples fight or break up. So what happens? Number one, when in-laws meddle in the relationship. This happens, let's be honest about it. Number two, when the couple lives with the in-laws, especially in the culture of the Philippines, extended family, isang compound, bahay 1, bahay 2, bahay 3, lahat sila andoon. Number three, when decisions are made by the in-laws for the couple, syempre silang nakakatanda, sometimes they would insist on what they want for you because they think that's the good thing for you. And then when the in-laws do not like the partner of their son or daughter, and lastly, when in-laws get jealous on with whom the couple spends more time. Side ba ni lalaki or side ba ni babae? So, Sir Drew, how do we handle this? In-laws being
Ako
one of the reasons
talaga.
why couples... Oo, ikaw itong walang
Ikaw,
in-law, ikaw yung tinanong ko, no?
ikaw yung kasal, ikaw yung may in-laws. Bakit ako yung
I
in-laws na
know.
tinanong mo?
I know. In
pero,
my case
pero,
kasi, yeah, sure, go
sige.
ahead. No, no, go
As,
ahead.
hindi, hindi, so for one thing, lahat ng mga sinight mo mga examples or cases, these are the typical things that we somehow observe in dynamic. Na meron,
Mm-hmm.
na kahit kasal ka na, hindi nawawala yung desisyon ng in-laws mo. Kumbaga, hindi siya magiging desisyon ng mag-asawa o ng mag-partner. Magiging desisyon siya ng mga in-laws mo. And
Yes.
with my person with di ma person with my observations sa mga na nakikita or naririnig ko or nahahagilap ko, it's a very big issue kasi ang quote unquote ang sinasabi kasi ang naririnig ko sinasabi nasasahod daw sila. And I
Mm-hmm.
really don't know how that really feels. Pero if, for example, if you'll be applying it in a way with your relationships, for example, your boyfriend girlfriend relationships, if one is pushing you with what they really want and not what you really like, parang contextually parang ganun mo siya pwedeng i-align.
Mm-hmm.
So um, kailangan kasi there's a thin line kasi may border yun na dapat hanggang dito lang ang desisyon. The rest of that, kayong dalawa na ang dapat magdesisyon doon. Kumbaga ano lang, dahil siguro mas matanda sila, they need to say, pero at the end of the day, kayong dalawa ang dapat magdesisyon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. So, let's try to contextualize muna when it comes to decision making. Kung mag-boyfriend and girlfriend muna kayo, you're not married yet or you're not live-in partners yet, I think it's best that you listen to what your parents have to say. Kasi for one, your parents will not ask you to do something that will harm you. Maybe they saw something in your partner that is, not too nice. That's why they're trying to convince you to think otherwise of the partner that you chose for yourself. Kasi
Mm.
syempre, when we're in love, when we're in a relationship, what we see in the person is the goodness of the person. All the negative traits of the person, we brush aside kasi nga mahal natin, we accept the person. But that's not how it is for parents kasi for the parents, they want what's best for you. So as much as possible talaga, they will try to convince you to look the other way and see what they see in the person para lang mas maintindihan mo where they're coming from. Now, given you did not listen to their, advice, their opinions, you still married the person or you went to live with the person out of legal boundaries, di ba? It's all right. You've made your choice. That's your right as a person. Ngayon, if they're still trying to meddle, what's best to do is to listen again to what they have to say. But like what Sir Drew said, at the end of the day, it'll be your choice. It'll be your decision. Because for one, you're already an adult. And two, it's your relationship. Hindi naman talaga sila yung nakikisama sa taong pinakasalan mo or pinakikisamahan mo, kundi ikaw. So you know how much you can tolerate, how much you can handle, how much you're willing to give in the relationship. Basta, I think we should not put it in a situation na nababastos na natin yung in-laws natin or parents natin
Mm.
at sila din naman masyado nang nag-cross ng boundaries na hindi dapat nila
Yeah.
kinocross because they have to respect as well that you are already an adult and you have your own choices to make. Di ba? Kaya lang nga, sa ating kultura sa Pilipinas, that's not how it is. Kaya nga sabi ni Larissa De Leon Dizon, that is why kailangan bumukod. Pero kung hindi naman kaya financially, learn to talk about it then. This is hard talaga kasi it's one of the toxic traits ng Pinoys. Yeah, ayun nga, sometimes it's an extended family type of culture that we have in the Philippines. We still live in the houses or homes of our parents or in-laws. Ako ang lagi kong sinasabi, there can never be two queens or two kings in one castle. So kung nakikitira ka sa bahay ng in-laws mo or parents mo, whether you like it or you don't, you have to respect the decisions that they make kasi sa kanila yon, bahay nila yon. And then you have to help out financially. 'Di ba? Hindi ka pwedeng buhay prinsesa lang, uupo, magluluto para sa parents mo or ang in-laws mo. Makibagay ka.
Mm.
'Di ba? That's how it
Totoo
is
yan.
kasi in-laws mo yung mga yon or parents mo yung mga yon. Now, if you cannot handle the heat, leave the kitchen. Gawa ka ng sarili
Mm.
mong bahay. Separate. You have your own rules, your own terms. Kung anong gusto mong gawin, you wanna bomb the entire day, wala kayong gawin mag-asawa, be it. That's your kingdom now.
Mhm.
'Di ba? So yeah, that's something you have to consider bago din kayo mag-asawa. Where do we stay? Where do we live? Do we live with our in-laws or do we live with your parents or whichever case may be? Para alam nyo din yung pinapasok ninyo. Kasi mahirap. Trust me. Not that I am having a hard time with my in-laws, but whether you like it or not, when you have a new set of family, dahil hindi mo sila kinalakhan, you have to adjust to their
Tama.
liking. That's the truth. 'Di ba? Yun. Wow. Kunwari, no? Expert talaga tayo.
Ikaw dapat
And
mas expert dyan.
I know. Pero I only have one set of in-laws. So, I'm not planning to have another set. Pero, that's what I know based on my experiences and the observations that I've been seeing and, consciously
Yeah.
watching over the past years. And hello din kay Bulads watching right now. And Kath SB. I don't know if this is Ma'am Kath, our colleague. Kath SB.
Siya yan.
Hi,
Siya
Ma'am
yan, siya
Kath.
yan.
I miss
Hi,
you.
Kat.
Hello. Thank you for joining
Hope you're
us.
doing well.
Ayan. Sabi ni
Balik ka
Larissa
dito, madam.
Dizon. Ay, sorry po. Yeah, sometimes when you're free. Okay, sabi dito ni Larissa Dizon, may malaking stigma sa relationship kasi, lalo na kung mag-meddle sila sa decision ng mag-asawa. Exactly.
Yeah.
And, with all due respect din naman sa mga in-laws, if we see our children already married, adults, they have their own minds, own principles and beliefs, and they can stand on their own. Ako kasi ganito ako, if the person has to do his or her own decision and he's not asking for my opinion, I let the person do what he has to do. If he fails and he comes to me, I'll embrace and welcome him. But if he fails and he proves to me that he could stand by his decision, that tells me that I've, raised my child properly. Kasi kaya niyang tumayo sa sarili niyang paa. That's just me.
Yeah.
Okay? Kaso may mga
Well,
parents talaga na whether we like it or we don't, talagang magme-meddle.
yeah. It's really hard to tawag dito, to really find a balance with that kind of dynamic. Kasi sabi nga natin na una-una, your in-laws, you need to respect them with whatever feedback that they're giving you. Kasi feedback is feedback eh. Importante yan. Pero ang tawag dito, yung dilemma kasi dito is that when is the time na kailangang hindi na i-consider, or when is the time na yung boundary, saan yung dapat na hindi na dapat sila mag-meddle. Yun yung dalawang wini-weigh. Do I need to first and foremost respect, or do I first need to step dun sa boundary na wait lang, buhay na namin to, kung okay lang, kami na muna. So yung dalawang dynamics yung talagang nag-push to pull.
Yep. Sabi dito ni Grey Heartfilia Fullbuster, I guess as long as you live under the roof of your parents, their house, their rules. Definitely, we agree. That will be always the application, and it could be a reason for the couple's breakup. Yeah, kasi nga, imagine you're adults, kayo na yung magkarelasyon, pero ibang rules pa rin yung sinusunod nyo, not your own terms. Ikaw nga lang na single, kapag pinagbabawalan ka ng nanay mo, you're already working, earning for yourself, nagiinit na yung ulo mo, di ba? What more kung may asawa ka na, may mga anak, pinapakialaman ka pa. Or you have to abide by other people's rules pa. So it's gonna be a difficult one. And then Larissa De Leon added, that is right, Sir Grey Heartfilia Fullbuster, kasi if you don't want to follow their rules, bumukod kayo. And kahit nagbukod sila sa parents nila in the first place, unless no choice na walang maiiwanan sa parents. Yeah, it's still, the decision of the couple. But what we're trying to point out here, are the pros and cons of living with your in-laws or your parents. Diba?
Yeah.
Ito pa yung ibang scenario dyan. For example, you're not really having a difficulty dealing with their rules, you abide by their rules, pero paano naman kung may anak na kayo? Yung pagpapalaki sa mga bata, pinaghihimasukan pa rin. Ikaw, pinagbabawalan mong kumain ng chocolate, spoiled kay lolo at lola. Diba? Ikaw, inaalaw mo sa gadget, ayaw ni lolo and lola because that's not part of their generation. right? Ikaw, you allow your child to talk back to you, to be, honest and vulnerable to you. Pinapasabi mo kung anong nararamdaman niya. Lola and Lola finds it disrespectful because that's not how they raise their children. So these kinds of differences, they matter a lot when it comes to, dealing with your in-laws or even your parents kapag nakasama pa rin kayo sa bahay nila. So alam mo
It's
yun?
messy, no? It's
It
really,
is.
really
It is.
messy.
It is.
With what I remember, I think someone opened up with me before. Yung case niya parang similar with that one. Ang sa kanya, medyo masakit ng konti kasi hindi siya tanggap.
Oh.
So, sabi ko parang, ang hirap no?
Mhm.
Even I can't even, tawag dito, try to comprehend kung paano yung dynamic yun. Kasi alam mo yun, both of you as partners, you understand each other, you love each other, you know each other, and you know that in your heart of hearts, you're meant for each other. Pero
Mhm.
another set of people that are close to your relationship are saying no to your relationship. Kaya sabi ko, Papa, ano yun? So, kung meron po nakakaalam, pakilagay po sa comment.
Oo.
Ang
Hindi,
hirap nun,
actually, if I may, comment on what you said, it's really difficult when the parents of your partner do not want you for the person. Kasi,
Yeah.
dahil mahal mo yung anak nila, syempre susuyuin mo yung mga yan. Kaya yung mga nagsasabing, hindi ko naman papakasalan yung parents ng partner ko. You know what? Literally, you wouldn't. But
You wouldn't, yeah.
figuratively, essentially, you will.
Yeah, yeah.
Essentially, you will, because they will become eventually your family too. And
Tama.
imagine being in an extended family na hindi ka gusto or hindi ka na-appreciate,
Mm.
right? Kaya dun sa mga mag-boyfriend and girlfriend pa lang ngayon, not that I'm discouraging you to, to continue the relationship or I'm encouraging you to discontinue the relationship. Kapag yung parents ninyo medyo off dun sa dinedate nyo, I'm not saying na break up with the person right on or immediately, but try to contemplate. Kasi mahirap na dalhin mo yan sa marriage and then you have to deal with that unwantedness for the rest of your lives as a married couple. Because trust me when I say, iba pa rin yung kapag yung mahal mong tao, mahal ka din ng pamilya niya.
Tama.
Kasi nandun yung support, nandun yung
Tama.
fluidity ng relationship. I'm not saying it's gonna be a perfect kind of in-law relationship with them, but definitely when you need them, they're there.
Yeah. Maybe that's
Okay?
the reason
Hindi sila
why, yeah, maybe that's the reason why we really are aspiring for their blessing talaga, no? Yung talagang,
yes.
uh, tanggap ka na talaga. As in, tanggap yung relasyon ninyo, kahit anong mangyari, they're okay with it, or if not okay, great, they're great with the decision. Ganun mga bagay. And I would definitely agree with what you've said. You might not, tawag dito, hindi mo naman kailangan na, hindi naman dapat ligawan yung mga parents ng partner
Mhm.
mo, pero at some point you have to. At some point you will.
Yes. Hindi naman literal na liligawan mo na, well, you can bring them flowers, date them too. Pero that's part of the courtship kasi if really your intention with the person is to end up with the person in marriage eh.
Yeah.
Diba? Ganun siya. So, if you think that, getting in marriage or getting into a relationship tapos dinidisregard mo lang yung in-laws mo or future in-laws mo, I don't think that's the case. I think you're not ready for any deeper relationship if that is the case.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Ayan, sabi dito ni Grey Heartfilia Fullbuster, kaya nga dapat unang nililigawan ng parents. Oo, 'di ba? Nung unang panahon naman talaga, bago mo mapasagot yung babae or binibining ginugusto
Oo.
mo, magsisibak ka muna, mag-iigib ka
Tama.
muna. Parents muna talaga yung
Tama.
susuyuin mo because they have the say, not the final say, but they have the say on whose person or which person, their daughter or son will end up with. Nung
Yeah.
unang panahon. Kaso ngayon, it's the against all odds kind of thing na, I don't care, mom.
Oo.
I don't care, dad. I love the person.
Love the person. Yeah. Parang
Di ba?
gano'n.
I'm gonna
Siya,
die
siya,
for this person.
he's meant for me. She's meant for
Oo.
ganun lagi tayo eh.
Yeah.
We are so fixated or we're so
Mhm.
fixated with our emotions that we're so overwhelmed with the parang I love the person, I admire the person, I'll end the person, and yung mga ganun. Pero we forgot the idea na parang, oh, wait. Like there's a checklist.
Yep.
Parang,
And
may pera
then,
ba siya? Can they
uh,
support me? Tanggap ba siya ng parents ko? Ganun mga
yep.
bagay.
And then at the end of it, when you married the person, you'll go to your parents' house secretly and you'll tell them, you know what, mom? You know what, dad? You were right. Now that I married the person, there were a lot of things that I regret. I should have
Mm,
listened to you. Those things, they happen. That's the reality of life. But since you're in a
totoo yan.
commitment, you have to take the good with the bad. So, parents are not always right, but most of the time they are. So
They
you have to
are,
listen
tama
to them
yan.
as well, right?
Tama yan.
Sabi dito ni Russell Kito, with my experience, ligawan nyo mga in-laws nyo. Yes!
Yes.
Dapat talaga. Suyuin nyo. Sabi nga
It's
nung
part of the
auntie
process.
ko, oo, sabi nung auntie ko, you know what, when you're with your in-laws or when you have your in-laws with you already, if you love your parents 10 times, you have to love your in-laws 20 times. Kasi the love for your parents, it comes naturally because you were born from them, out of them. But with your in-laws, they've accepted you as another child from another set of parents. Anak ka nila, but you did not come from them. So you have to
Yeah.
be more maamor, mas maalaga sa kanila, and so on and so forth. Yeah. Kahit pa ayaw nila kayo, kebs na kung ayaw nila kayo, basta kayo, gawin nyo yung responsibility ninyo, di ba?
Yeah.
Hindi na kayo yung nagkukulang nun. What taray. Sabi dito
May
ni
sinabi sa
Larissa,
Larissa. Yeah. Sabi
go
niya,
Sir
medyo
Drew.
mahirap. Sige, medyo mahirap yan. Lalo na ayaw ng partner mo na bumukod kasi unstable kayo. Kaya nga, kung ayaw talaga niya, alis ka na lang if hindi mo kaya or create your own turf. Ayan, yung sabi mo nga na you build your own house.
Yeah.
Mahirap na hindi ka niya suportahan na nararamdaman mo. Yeah. I think what they're
Mm.
referring to yung na-mention natin sa in-laws and then yung controlling behavior nila. So if you
Yes.
cannot handle that, if you can't handle the heat, then build another kitchen.
Get out.
Yeah, get out. Just build another house for your own.
Yes. Oo. Pero ito, totoo to. Meron na, I wouldn't say marami, pero definitely, there are couples who already decided to break up or, call it quits because of the in-laws.
Yeah.
Meron talaga. It's a major factor why couples break up. Not just fight, but break up because of parents. Diba?
Malaking factor kasi siya eh. Or maybe we're also Asian, kaya siguro the decision coming from the parents, yung blessing na sinasabi nga natin galing sa kanila, it's really a big thing. Call it na
Mm-mm.
sabihin natin na we're so
Unlike with
impulsive with our
Western
emotions
countries,
already. Yeah,
yeah.
it's very different from Western countries. For Western countries,
Mm-hmm.
they're somehow parang dahil nga they have the context of annulment and divorce, it's just easy. Sa atin
Yeah.
hindi eh. We value family, we value the sacred vows that each other would share to each other. Yung mga ganun
Mm-hmm.
mga bagay. Call
Yep.
it romantic, but it's something that's very important.
It is. And yun nga, dahil dito sa Philippines, we don't have divorce, though we have annulment. When you go through the process, you're not just really leaving the person you married, you're leaving his entire or her entire family too. So when you
Totoo
see
yan.
them, in the mall or elsewhere, pag nakita mo sila, oh my God, those are my ex-in-laws. Hello po, how do you handle? Di ba? Parang, yun nga lang parents ng ex-boyfriend mo or ex-girlfriend mo, pag nakikita mo, there's this certain awkwardness. Yun pa kaya naging
Yeah.
asawa mo. Di
Yung
ba?
parang kulang na lang mag-ano ka na, parang bigyan mo ko ng jacket.
Hide now. Parang gano'n. Yes.
Tapos bigla nakita ka na, hi tita.
Diba? Yeah. So, ang pinopoint out natin dito, don't jump from one relationship to another because whether you like it or not, you are also, establishing relationships with the family of the person. And mahirap din yon. Kapag naghiwalay kayo, the heartbreak spreads. Hindi lang sa inyong dalawa, pati dun sa family nyong dalawa.
Yeah.
Right?
Totoo yan.
And then, John Espera said, yes, ligawan muna magulang. It's respect para sa kanila. Magpaalam ka sa future in-laws mo. Definitely, we agree. If they see na nirerespeto mo sila, and if they see that you value them and what they have to say in the relationship, I think in return, they will respect you too and will give you the benefit of the doubt na, okay, this person is showing me respect, inaalagaan niya yung anak ko, he's even willing to go the extra miles for us kahit in-laws lang niya kami or, parents lang kami ng boyfriend and girlfriend niya. So, it's a plus point for you. Diba?
Yeah.
Ayan.
Siguro
Yes, go ahead.
siguro parang ano lang, even though you're already a married couple, for example, hindi nawawala yung pagiging protective ng mga parents. Kaya that's the reason why in the process of they really need to find are, sino kang, anong klase kang tao.
Mm-hmm.
So kaya lumilito yung ng mga mga parents kasi sabi mo kanina, they just really want the best for you, kaya ganun sila ka-protective or kung ganun sila kasungit maybe for the person. Lalo na
Yeah.
kapag 'di ba kapag papakilala sa tatay, 'di ba?
Oo, lalo yung mga
Medyo
babaeng
yun.
anak.
Oo, as in nakakatakot ang experience na yun.
Oo. Siyempre, parents are always skeptic whether you like it or you don't. Hindi ka naman
Yeah.
nila pwedeng pagkatiwalaan right on. Kailangan i-earn mo din yung trust nila, 'di ba?
Totoo
And
yan.
then, very quickly lang po, I just want to say hello to Camille Lapid who's watching right now. Zion or Zion Edison Vitog is watching us too. Asan pa ba? Si Sir Val Machas is also tuned in right now. Maria Fatima Rapal is also right here with us. And Lester Aldrin Escoto is also watching. Hello to you guys. We are on the topic top 10 reasons why couples fight or break up. And we've already discussed the first three. Now, let's move on to number 7. Ayan. Not everybody will relate to this one because not everybody has children. But if the couple has
Makaka-relate ba
children,
tayo dito, dude?
both of us do not have children, but we see people with children, right? Ayan. So here are the things that people or couple might fight about when it comes to children. Number 1, disciplining the children. Number 2, whose final decision wins when it comes to the children. 3, children's upbringing. And lastly, if the couple is dealing with babies, who takes care of whom? Lalo na kung napupuyat pa, sino magpapalit ng diaper, sino ang graveyard shift and all that. Well, the easy answer to this one, kayong dalawa. Ginawa niyo yung mga batang yan, kayong dalawa talaga yung bahala sa mga yan, right?
Kayo may responsibility
Oo.
niyan.
Yes. When it comes to disciplining kasi, again, we go back to communication and agreement. Usually kasi si mommy, siya ang taga-disiplina, si daddy, siya ang pacifier, siya yung taga-spoil, or the other way around, di ba? I think that is a good thing because there's balance. But then again, when it comes to whose final decision, kasi halimbawa sinabi ni mommy, no. Biglang sinabi ni daddy, it's okay. Ngayon, nagkakaroon ng confusion sa discipline ng bata. Sino ang susundin ko? Because daddy allows me, I love daddy more. Because mommy is too strict, I hate mommy already. I'm not going to ask mom anymore. I'll just, go immediately to dad because dad gives everything I ask for anyway. Ayan. So, pagdating dito, kailangan talaga you agree as a couple, sino ang may final decision sa atin. And to what lengths do we allow our children to do things? Dapat pareho kayo, you are on the same page para yung bata hindi siya nagkakaroon ng confusion. Right?
I think what you're referring to, yung sinasabi mong same page, allow me to be somehow technical with this one kasi
Sure.
it's related to like we have what we refer to as parenting styles. So they're primarily 4. You have authoritative, authoritarian, permissive, and uninvolved. So alin yung beneficial sa lahat ng mga parenting styles according to research, a long history of research, authoritarian daw. Kasi they are strict pero they welcome their children openly. Nakikinig sila ng maayos. As compared to authoritative na tawag dito, sorry. Authoritative pala yung yung sinasabi kong open and strict pero open sila. Kapag authoritarian, sila yung very strict and obedience is a must. Kapag hindi ka nag-follow, punishment ang katapat niyan. Okay? Another one is permissive. Yung parang kapag sinabi ni bata na, Daddy, Mommy, gusto ko ng ganito. Mommy, I want a pony. Daddy, I want a PS4. Bibigay lang kaagad kasi they're permissive. Yan, sabi nga ng word. And another one is uninvolved, which is basically they just don't care.
Yeah.
Walang pakialam. Okay? So again, kung alin dito yung mas mas beneficial sa growth ng bata, authoritative kasi they work close together with the kids. They are strict pero telling their children na bakit ganun sila. Kumaga open yung communication with them. Ganun yung different parenting styles. And it really helps to avoid yung ano, yung not necessarily breakup, I guess, pero yung pag-aaway kasi at least you're standing together in the same boat. You
Yep.
level each other na, okay, Han, ito yung dapat nating way ng pag-interact sa anak natin. Huwag tayong sobrang maging permissive sa lahat ng gusto niya. Dapat, tawag dito, deserve niya o meron muna siyang ginawa para ibigay natin yung gusto niya. Yung mga ganun mga bagay.
Mm.
it it it's
Yep.
it's it's really important that tawag dito, for married couple who have children to understand how these parenting style works kasi beneficial siya sa paglaki ng bata. According to research, kapag
Mm-hmm.
authoritative ang mga parents sila, they are competitive, they are very open, they have less psychological symptoms and so on and so forth. I'm sorry if I sound very
Mm-hmm.
ano na technical, pero these are
Technical. No,
very
it's
important.
fine. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
educational. Though we're not, parents yet or we don't have children yet, it's really important that as couples, isa lang yung decision nyo for your children. Do we go authoritative, authoritarian? Do we go permissive? Or I doubt you will go walang pakialam, or indifferent
Mm.
to your children. But
Yeah.
there are some
Yeah, there are
very
some.
liberated households, diba?
Yeah.
Yep.
It
Ayan,
actually boils down to how you
go ahead.
were brought up as well. So
Yes,
kapag
I
if you were brought
agree.
if you were brought up with an authoritative parent, you'll also grow up to be an authoritative parent. Ganun yung dynamics niya. And I think you were about to mention what Larissa De Leon commented there. Ganun yung sinabi niya, that's the best example of an authoritative parent.
Yeah.
Na you're
She
able
said
to
having
yeah, sige.
sabi niya, having kids, give them time to breathe din kapag discipline. Much better if you could listen to your children, what they want and know what they need. Both of you should compromise din na both should be on the same page, lalo na iba ang generation ngayon. Yep, definitely.
Yeah, totoo yan. That's very true. Totoo yan. Yan. And according to
Mm-mm.
experts, yan uh, yung way on how handling children na hindi ikaw yung hindi yes you are the parent pero hindi ka yung ultimatum nila. As a parent, you also need to
Mm-hmm.
listen to what your children are talking about, what they're thinking of, and so on and so forth. Kasi you're the bond of you together, yun yung binibuild mo kasi dun. It's not at the end of the day, it's not how you treat the child, but it's rather how you bonded together. That's
Yep.
more important than you telling, oh, you do this, you do that. No, that's not it. Yung simpleng kayong dalawa you play dolls together. That's
Mm-hmm.
important. Pancakes
Yep.
early in the morning, that's also important.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
And then she also mentioned, kung napalo man sila or napagalitan, explain it to them. I think what we're trying to really get into here is that when you have children as couples, we do not try to inculcate fear. Rather, we have
Yeah.
to inculcate trust. Diba? That bonding that you mentioned. Kasi when it's fear that your children has for you or children have for you, well, there's respect, there's trust, but more so they follow you or obey you because takot lang sila. But
Yeah.
if they trust you, whatever you tell them, they know it's what's good for them, right?
Totoo yan.
On the other side of the coin naman, sabi dito ni Gray, just for the sake of an argument, having no children could also be a reason for their breakup. That is true. Diba?
Mhm.
Some
Yeah.
couples believe that the reason why they married each other or why they stayed together is for them to procreate. And when procreation does
Mm.
not happen, there's no point in staying with each other. That is true.
Yeah.
Although, sabi ko nga ngayon, things are different already. We have a lot of means to get pregnant, IV, in vitro, or adoption, or surrogacy, whichever the case may be, kung ano yung ma-afford nyo as a couple. But really, we respect people who just call it quits kung hindi talaga sila magkaanak. It's just sometimes, it's really a major factor too, why couples break up and fight. But I don't think really it should be a reason why you should break up. Mm-hmm. Ayun. If you are experiencing some delay on our live stream, we do apologize because, we couldn't control the internets. A lot of people are online right now. Probably there is congestion, right?
Yeah.
But we
Oo.
do hope
It's weird, no?
you understand the situation.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So that is for children. Okay. So again, we go back to communicating and compromising and agreeing what's best for your children, whatever kind of style you have in raising your children. And in addition, before we move to the next one, for the sake of argument naman, for not having kids, baka hindi nila talaga kaya mag-conceive because of health reasons. That is true. And you
Yeah,
have to
totoo.
consider that one and do not take it against your partner. Kasi gusto kanyang bigyan ng anak, but in terms of his physical capacity, health-wise, hindi niya kaya. So, anong problema mo? 'Di ba? Hindi naman niya sinasadya yun. Unless talagang
Mhm,
kaya niyang mag-conceive, ayaw lang niya. That's a different scenario naman. Again, you have to talk it
mhm.
out. Respect each other's boundaries. Kung hindi pa ready for children, don't force it. Okay? Probably 2 years, 5 years from now, when you're ready, I'll wait. Diba? It's compromise. It's compromise. All right, cool. Thank you so much for your input, guys. We really appreciate it. Kung pwede lang
Yes,
i-up
we
ko kayo
do.
lahat dito sa screen para lahat
Kung
tayo
puwede
dito
lang ano.
di ba, nagkukuro-kuro, mas masaya. Kaso, kaming dalawa nga lang naglalag na siya eh. I don't know what's wrong, but it's
Yeah,
probably the system or our internet connection and whatnot. But we do hope we're clear on your end and you could see and
yeah,
hear
hopefully.
us clearly and properly.
Yeah.
All right. Yep. Now let's move on to the sixth one. Nako pa, this one is gonna be a heated discussion. Haha. Couples fight most of the time or sometimes or even break up because of friends. Okay? Why friends? Here it is. Couples fight when one spends more time with his or her friends. When friends matter more than the partner. When friends do not like the person for their friend. When friends are bad influences. When friends are insensitive. And when friends flirt their friend who's already committed. Ayan. Lahat ng may mga angst sa mga kaibigan ng mga jowa nila labas.
Oo nga,
Seriously
labas
though.
kayo.
Ito talaga, isa to talaga sa mga factors kung bakit nag-aaway or naghihiwalay ang mga magjojowa, mag-asawa, or mag-live-in partner. Dahil din sa mga kaibigan na hindi marunong magbigay ng boundaries. Alam mo yung alam na nilang may karelasyon na yung yung friend nila, kung makapag-ayang uminom, akala mo binata, or kung makapag-ayang mag-shopping, akala mo, at saka mag-disco at mag-party, akala mo walang obligasyon at ibang priorities yung friend nila. Ikaw, Sir Drew, palagay mo,
Well,
kailangan bang
for
mag-away dahil
one
sa mga
thing,
kaibigan?
siguro ano, paano ba 'to? Um, Hindi mo kasi puwedeng sabihin na kailangan mo ring ligawan kasi yung mga friends mo, eh, pero yung friends nung
Oo.
ano, eh, nung partner mo, eh, kasi eh, they're just part of their network and eventually
Mhm.
you'll be together at some point. Pero alam mo yun, let me quote what you've said dun sa yung word na sinabi mo kanina na you really need to understand your boundaries. Kung ano kung hanggang saan ka dapat na for example, kasal na
Mhm.
um, at kung nagaya ng inuman ang barkada ninyo, alam mo yun, you really need to understand na may pangangailangan ka rin bilang partner niya sa buhay mo, okay? Na parang, bigyan mo rin ng konsiderasyon na, "Uy, ayoko naman na hihintayin pa niya akong makauwi,
Mhm.
after I spend some time with my friends." Alam mo yun, 'wag
Mhm.
'wag mong paghintayin siya.
Oo.
Naghintay na nga siya sa'yo for quite a long time sa ligawan na process tapos at the end of it all paghihintayin mo pa siya, parang hindi I don't find the ano, the logic on that kasi. Okay?
Mhm. Well,
Don't
yung
get me
sinabi
wrong,
mo na yeah, go.
don't get me wrong, it's okay to spend time with friends. Pero yun nga, you also need to
Mhm.
understand that your world that you're no longer standing ano, ang mundo hindi lang ikaw ngayon, okay? Hindi lang ikaw yung nasa mundo ngayon. Dalawa kayo na umiikot-ikot ngayon, para sa buhay ninyo or sa yung mga mundo ninyo. Okay?
Mhm. And let's just try to contextualize it. If you're boyfriends and girlfriends and your partner spends more time with his or her friends, my take is let him or let her. Okay? Kasi for one, hindi pa kayo kasal, wala pa siyang masyadong responsibility sa'yo. And if at the same time, nabibigay naman niya yung panahon at attention na kailangan ng relasyon nyo at mo, 'di ba? Allow him to go out with his friends or her friends. Yung usual. Okay, wag mo muna siyang i-limit or wag mo muna siyang pagbawalan. Siguro, pag nakikita mong OA na, sobra na, sa'yo marami siyang pagkukulang, pero sa kaibigan niya, wala. Doon, pwede ka nang medyo, wait lang, what's going on? Am I not the priority here? Buhay single ka pa rin? Why you're giving more time to them than for
Mm.
me? Diba? But if your partner is showing you that he has time for you, she has time for you, and once in a blue moon lang or once in a while lang yung sa friends niya, I think that's healthy because other couples would set boys night, girls night, yun mo yun, para lang
Yeah.
makahinga sila. 'Di ba? Makahinga sila na
Yeah.
ma-feel nila na even if may karelasyon na ako ngayon, that does not mean that I have to turn my back against the kind of world that I have prior to meeting you. 'Di ba? It's a breather
Yeah.
for them and it's healthy. Kasi mamimiss ka niya or sometimes if allowed by the situation, isasama ka niya dun sa boys night, sa girls night para maka-meet mo rin yung mga inner circle niya. Diba? At the same time, you get to know his friends get to know you too. Nagkakaroon din ng relationship with them. Not to the point nga, sabi
Yeah.
ni Sir Drew, that you have to make ligaw sa friends for their approval. Kasi whether your his friends, her friends like you or not, okay lang yun. Diba? Extended
Yeah.
lang naman yun sa network niya.
Tama. Tama.
Diba? Yeah.
I
But
think what
now,
you're telling,
go ahead.
I think what you're telling everyone is that both of you as individuals, you need to respect their space. Yan siya.
Mm-hmm.
Pero of course, when you are ano pa, for example, naka-ano pa lang kayo, magjowa pa lang kayo, tawag dito, you really need to respect whatever yung in terms of their space, kung ano ginagawa sa space na yun. Pero kapag you are already a married couple, kailangan pa rin i-consider yung space na yun, kailangan yung irespeto pa rin, pero you also need to
Limited.
consider na, oo, limited na siya. Kasi sabi mo nga kanina, wag mong paghintayin yung tao sa'yo para maka-uwi ka lang. Alam mo
True.
yun? Meron, naghintay, nasa labas ka, hanging out with friends, alalahanin mo na sa bahay ninyo, kung saan mo nakatira, meron naghihintay pa rin sa'yo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Ayan, sabi dito ni Mamang Sen Galvez, hello Mamang, I miss you. Sobrang busy natin pareho. Sabi niya, done sharing to the community. Thank you so much, I love you. Tapos sabi niya, yan na naman yung paghintayin. Ha, 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 ha. Sorry Mamang, ouch ba?
Sorry. Masakit po ba? Sorry po.
Ayan, tapos sabi ni Larissa, but syempre, hindi natin hawak yung friends sa work and friends outside of your circle. You in the relationship should always know your limit, lalo na madaming tukso. Ang dami kong hanash. Sabi niya.
Actually, napapansin ko nga, si Larissa lagi siya nagko-comment and I really appreciate that, sobra.
We do. Sabi ko nga sa inyo, may mga hanash sa mga friends labas. Hindi kasi ganito lang yung pinopoint out ni Sir Drew siguro. Like for example, you're already married and say for example, you have children. Di ba? Regardless kung, sabihin na natin baby pa lang yung bata. And then you have this Friday night out with your friends. Pre-pandemic era. Di ba? Meron kang boys night out. Bilang lalaki, you have to be sensitive. Kasi you have to think like this. I'm not saying na lahat ng lalaki ganito. Kapag lumabas ka with your friends, nakipag-inuman ka, obviously you want to have a good time. Probably you're stressed the entire week because of work. Now you want a breather. You want to spend time with your friends. Inom, gala, kwentuhan, whatever you want to do. Mambabae kung kailangan or whatever, no? It's really up to you, whatever kind of friends you have. And then imagine, your wife will stay at home, mapupuyat, kakaantay sa'yo umuwi, inaalagaan yung baby nyo. What you could have done is say no to your friends, stay at home, help your wife take care of the baby, spend time with your family, kahit pagod ka. Watch Netflix with them. Talk with your wife. Kwentuhan, how was your day, baby? How's bunso? That's the kind of man we want. Ladies, hindi yung lalaking, pagod ako, iinom ako pag uwi ko, gusto ko alagaan mo ko, gusto ko may merienda akong makakain. Gusto mong sampalin kita ngayon. Diba? Sorry medyo harsh, pero what kind of man would be like that? You would rather spend time with your friends for whatever reason, then stay at home on a Friday night, be with your family. Siguro yung once in a while, I would understand. But if you make it a habit, come on, man up, grow up. Diba? Sabi dito ni Gray, should not take marriage advice from single friends. With the crying, laughing emoticon. They don't have any idea what married life is like. It's completely different relationship. It is. It
Oo
is.
naman. It is, it is.
Sinyo. Akala nyo ba? Kasi when you're married, hindi naman sa pinapaliit mo yung mundo mo eh. But you know to yourself, your responsibilities, they change.
Yeah.
Your priorities, they're different now.
Legit.
Kaya
Yeah.
yung mga friends na insensitive, di ba? Kung yung kaibigan nyo, alam yung kasal na at hindi niya kayo kayang mag-say no sa inyo, wag naman kayo yung tipong bad influence na, come on, dude. Minsan lang to, dude. Di naman natin papaalam sa wife mo, dude. Come on. Friends ba talaga kayo? Because if you're friends, what you would intend for your friend is what's beneficial for his
Yes.
relationship. Mas uunahin mo yung relasyon ng friend mo kesa sa pansarili mong kagustuhan para lang makapag-hangout kayo. Right? Not saying everybody is like this, but most men are. And I'm not saying na not all women are good women. May mga babae rin na, oy, ikaw magbantay ng bata ngayon, yung mga amigo ko, magsusugal kami. Meron din naman mga ganon.
Be. Chill ka lang.
I'm chill.
Kami lang to. Nalabas mo yung hanash mo kasi.
Si Larissa Dizon kasi may hanash eh.
Yun na nga eh. Napasahan ka yata ni Larissa.
Nahawaan ako eh. Alam mo yun, bigla ako pinaupisan eh.
Pero yun na nga. Actually,
seriously, I'm just trying to make a point here na regardless lalaki, babae, may mga tao talagang kahit na may karelasyon na, kasal, live-in, I don't know, siguro namimiss nila yung buhay single. Kaya minsan, nag-i-indulge pa rin sila sa ganong activities or talagang it's part of their personality and character as a person na kahit anong responsibility or obligation ang meron sila ngayon, they couldn't let go of how they were when they were single. Diba?
Actually,
it's important that you keep some of that.
Yeah. There are several factors that we can consider. Since sobrang dami nila. Others will be una-una when they got married, they really had time for themselves pa lang kasi walang anak. They really prepared for the time na magkaanak sila. And then after that, they really kumbaga ready na sila. Another would be they married early and hindi nila na-experience yung single life na gusto nila. At ngayon, ginagawa nila, nakasal sila. Diba? Sabi nga ni diba? I think this is what Larissa De Leon has opened up. Sabi niya, your rights are gray based sa sinabi ni kanina. Reason why you married your wife, diba? Kailangan ba may attitude pagkakasabi ko? Reason why you married your wife, diba? To build a family. Your family will be there for you through ups and downs sa friends hanggang saya lang talaga. Actually, we would definitely agree with that. Ayun, pa siya pa-add. Sige, madam,
she added, be your wife, husband, partner's friend. Chill kayo together. Ask them that they need yung mga bagay na pinoproblema nila, mga ganyan. Diba? At saka, minsan kasi ang hindi ko rin magets, why would friends invite the other person tapos hindi nila iimbitahin din yung wife? Pwede naman kasi yung, pare, inuman tayo, bring your wife. Or, pare, labas tayo, bring your wife and your children. What's wrong with that? Kaya yung mga wife or yung even the husband, magkakaroon sila ng mga presumptions or assumptions na, ba't tayo kung kasama? May babae bang kasama? May lalaki bang kasama? May ginagawa ba kayo behind my back? May pinag-uusapan ba kayong hindi ko dapat marinig? Stuff like that. Di ba? So, really, if you're... sure, go ahead.
Side comment lang. Larissa De Leon, okay lang po kayo. Medyo na-feel ko kasi yung energy niyo po habang binabasa ko yung mga comment. I do hope you're feeling okay.
Triggered siya.
Triggered siya. Pero we really love yours and Grace comments. As in, ang talaga
They're very supportive with comments. Yeah, I just want to say a quick hello to my cousin from Virginia. Hi, dude. Justin Timothy P. Lalo. Pinsan. Sabi niya, hello, cuz. Why are you so... Oh, it's already 9 a.m. there. Yeah. Sasabihin ko sana, bakit ang aga niyang gising? Pero it's already 9 a.m. pala. Hello to you. Good morning. And we are on the topic, top 10 reasons why couples fight or break up. And we are on friends. Ayan, sabi ni Larissa, okay lang po.
okay lang po.
Sabi niya. Pero ito kasi, whether you like it or you don't talaga, a lot of couples fight because of friends. Kasi
Yeah.
marami nga talagang friends ang insensitive. Yung hindi sila, alam mo yun, ang hirap nilang ispellingin. Lalo na, for example, yung asawa nagtatrabaho the entire week. Weekend na nga lang yung pwede niyang spend the entire day with his family. Kukunin mo pa.
Tama.
Diba? Huwag naman ganon. You have to set healthy boundaries. Kung talagang namimiss mo yung kaibigan mo at may pamilya yung kaibigan, you could call. Uy, dude, ang tagal na nating di lumalabas. Sama mo yung wifey mo, sama mo yung husband mo. Let's hang out sometimes. I think that will be more appreciated by the partner of your friend kasi nakikita nila na hindi pang sarili yung gusto mo. You're also considering the entire family kasi ini-enjoy mo sila.
Tama.
Sa activity. Ayan, hello lang kay Leron Pangilinan, Pangan, he's watching right now. Thank you so much, Lay. Tapos sabi ni Larissa, to be honest, we have sets of friends na kasama talaga ang family. Pero syempre, may mga outside friends talaga na tukso. Talagang yung tukso nandun.
Gusto ko yung napaka-open lang yung
casually. Casually lang yung sa kanya. Oo. Pero totoo din naman kasing sinasabi niya. For example, okay, tapos na tayo dun sa mga kaibigan na ang gusto lang ay puro alak. Okay? Meron din namang mga kaibigan na inaantay lang pala kayong maghiwalay kasi merong gustong maganap na iba. Diba? Yun yung mga kaibigan na hindi inamin yung nararamdaman dun sa taong kaibigan nila. So, nung nag-asawa or nagka-boyfriend, inaantay lang pala kayong mag-break, maghiwalay, para magkaroon naman sila ng chance. May mga ganyan. Meron din konsepto ng office romance. Yung mga katrabaho ni Mister, katrabaho ni Mrs. Dahil sila yung kasama maghapon, magdamag, gabi, whatever shift it is, graveyard, morning, sila yung nakaka-bonding. Tapos ikaw nasa bahay. So, yung exposure nila, nakakausap nila sila. So, eventually, inevitably, kung medyo mahina sa self-control yung partner mo, nakaka-develop siya ng connection and feelings sa office mate niya. Diba? So, sabi nga ni Larissa, mga tukso nandyan. Yes. So, pinag-aawayan talaga yan. Halimbawa, in-add ni Mister yung friend niya or office mate niya. Hala, mag-chat yan sa Facebook. Exchange of likes, exchange of comments. O tapos makikita ni wifey, sino to? Ba't di ko kilala to? Ba't ganito yung comment niya? Ayan na, magsisimula na rin yung away doon, di ba? So, if you're married, in a relationship, live-in partner, I greatly suggest do not give your husband or your partner or your wife a reason to question the kind of friendship you have with other people. Remember, your best friend and your ultimate friend is your partner and not your drinking buddies or your office mates. So, kung meron kang kaibigan na kailangang i-prioritize, gusto mong uminom, bring your wife with you. Mag-clubbing kayo. Ibigay niyo muna sa lolo't lola ang mga bata. Diba? Bakit kailangan ibang tao ang kasama mo mag-clubbing? Ba't hindi ang partner mo? Stuff like that.
And let me quote, Dizon 2020, reason why you married your wife, di ba? O yan, nakita Larissa.
Nasa records na yan.
Nasa records na yan. Pero may point naman kasi, that's the reason why you married the person in the first place. Okay?
Ayan, sabi ni Gray, Larissa Dizon, did you request this episode?
Mabigyan na natin.
Actually, hindi niya. Yeah, seriously, we do appreciate Larissa. She's always proactive with her comments. Ayan, sabi ni John Espera, yun lang, sabi niya, yun lang. But it's true, Ako, honestly speaking, most of my friends, lalaki. Or if not lalaki, gays. Okay? At in college, halos lahat ng kaibigan ko lalaki. But the moment that they had girlfriends, ako mismo, dumidistansya. Kasi I'm a girl. I know how it feels kapag merong best friend or friend na babae yung boyfriend ko. It's weird. 'Di ba? So kayo, kung kayo yung kaibigan, wag naman din kayong insensitive. Try to be in the shoes of the person na kung ganito ba yung approach ko sa asawa niya, matutuwa ba ako kung ganito yung approach sa asawa ko? Stuff like that. 'Di ba? Wag kang patay mali siya, wag yung dense, yung wala naman kaming ginagawa, friends lang kami. Oo nga, friends lang kayo, pero for the other person, it's awkward.
Mm.
Diba? It's insensitive ka not to feel for the person. So, yon
Mm.
friends. Ayan, sabi ni Larissa, not really Sir Gray, single pa ako. Sabi niya. Alright, so that is for friends. Medyo pinawisan tayo doon. That's the first
Oo nga.
half, right? We still have 5 more, so let's go immediately to the next half.
Yeah.
Ayan, ito siya. Preferences and differences. Ayan, minsan nag-aaway ang couples because of their preferences or differences in their preferences. Ang gulo, di ba? For example, where to eat, what to wear, religion, politics, upbringing, and beliefs. Dito papasok yung minsan, merong iba nakikipagrelasyon doon sa ka-compatible nila para walang away. Yung iba naman gusto nila yung opposite nila para may dynamics. Kaso lang, minsan, simpleng, saan tayo kakain today, babe? Ikaw, saan mo gusto? Sasagot yung isa, dito tayo sa Army Navy. Wag dyan, ayoko. Di ba tinanong mo ko saan kakain and then pag binigay mo yung preference mo, mag-aaway na. Again, minuscule, trivial matters, pero nakaka-contribute din sa away mag-jowa. Sir Drew.
Kasi masyadong broad if you'll be using those two concepts together. Let me just synthesize them with this statement na lang na there are certain core differences between the two of you that at some point you can compromise and at some point you really can't. Tanggapin niyo yun. Na meron talaga mga bagay na pwede niyo mapag-usapan tapos you can reach to parang a decision that both of you would benefit. But there will always be another instance na talagang ang hirap talagang pag-usapan, ang hirap talagang kayong dalawa mag-benefit. Kumbaga ito yung sinasabi ko lagi, I think V knows the statement very well kapag sa akin, na yun yung mga demon side ng pagkatao natin. Na kahit anong gawin natin, hindi talaga siya mapapalitan, kahit anong bagay, hindi natin mabigyan ng resolve or whatsoever. Pero is there a way to to somehow resolve it? Paano ba? There will always be an alternative, pero for you to come up na yun na dapat lang kailangan yung gawin, yung sinasabi kong compromise, it really boils down to proper timing. Okay? Kumbaga, hindi mo pwedeng papalit ka agad yung ugali ng taong yon regarding, for example, this kind of issue, for example, kung saan kakain. Paano kung talagang ganun talaga siya? Kasi for example, ako, ganun ako. Pag tinanong mo kung saan tayo kakain, kahit saan. Ganun lang sagot ko. Kasi una-una, wala akong preference. Kung saan lang pwede makakain, kung saan masarap, edi go. Doon lang tayo. Pero there are some na they really are, they innate sa kanila yung pagiging undecisive or indecisive. Yeah. So, talagang hindi mo mapipilit sa kanya na ano talagang kailangan natin, sa tayo pumunta, ano kailangan natin gawin. So, what you need to do, unang-una, 2 things. Compromise. Pero if you are to compromise, you need to understand the proper time you should do that compromise. Ganun natin siya pwedeng tingnan.
Kaya nga ako din, I have to say that before you get into a relationship, probably marriage, no, or live-in partners, whichever you prefer, you have to really know the person well. Para alam mo kung ano yung mga deal breakers mo. Like for example, itong taong to undecisive. Hindi ko gusto yung taong undecisive. So, on the early set pa lang ng relationship, may chance ka pa to think if you will continue the relationship, or, you'll stop the relationship na because you figure out things in the person na hindi mo kayang tanggapin. Now, if you continue the relationship knowing these things and you accepted those things, then deal with them. Yun yung choice mo kasi mas mahalaga yung tao kesa dun sa characteristic niya.
Tama.
Diba? So, ngayon, yun nga, sabi ni Sir Drew, undecisive yung tao or yung religious beliefs niya iba. Like for example, with all due respect sa ating mga kapatid na INC, kasi sila, they cannot marry somebody who's outside, 'di ba, the
Mm.
sect or the group. So, halimbawa ako, Katoliko, tas ikaw Sir Drew, INC. How do we settle it, 'di ba?
Mm.
Magko-convert pa ako or ikaw ba titiwalag ka sa group or things like that. So itong
Mm.
mga preferences and differences na to, you have to sit down really, lalo na yung mga mabibigat
Yeah.
na differences para alam din ninyo kung saan magli-lead yung relationship nyo. But if they're the
Yeah.
trivial stuff, yun na, saan kakain, pananamit, again, kung mahalaga sa'yo yung tao, alin ba ang pipiliin mo? Yung tao or yung pagkatao niya? That kind of way to put it.
Siguro what you're telling it to say it in a positive light, you're able to accept the differences.
Yes.
You're able to accept how things are very different between the two of you as both of you are two individuals different with what they like, with what they want in life. So
Mm-hmm.
sabi mo kanina parang if you were able to love or no, hindi love sinabi mo, if you're able to accept maybe tinanggap mo
Mm,
yung ugali
tao.
niya, yung pagkatao niya, love yun eh. Kasi tinanggap mo siya kahit sino pa siya eh.
Yes.
Alam mo yun, not to be mushy, not very romantic about it. Pero alam mo yun, try to absorb or reflect on that instance na kahit kahit sino pa, kahit anong klaseng tao pa siya, minahal ko siya hindi dahil doon, pero
Mm-hmm.
minahal ko siya sa particular sets na talagang, nag-gets mo ba yung sinasabi ko? Parang meron ka
Yes.
kasing lineup na nakita mo, ito yung kabutihan ng taong ito. Ito
Mm-hmm.
yung pagiging totoo ng taong ito. At yun yung
Yeah.
minahal mo.
Yeah.
Okay?
I think what you're trying to say is, halimbawa, yung girlfriend mo, yun nga, picky eater, hindi siya makadecide sa niya gusto. But she's very caring, very thoughtful, very loyal, very trusting, very honest. So, yung bagay na nakakainis about her, madaling i-brush off or brush
Oo,
aside
tama.
kasi alam mo, may minahal kang mas malaki doon sa kapintasan niyang yon. But
Tama.
then
Totoo
again,
yun.
yun nga, yung pagiging undecisive ng tao, nagiging factor din siya. Ba't kayo nag-aaway? Kasi minsan, di
Mm.
ba, parang, come on, just make a decision. Or come on, just
Mm.
respect that this is what I prefer and not. Di ba? Ganon. Tapos may tanong dito si Gray. For you po, do opposites really attract?
Hoy,
Ayan.
sagutin mo yan. Hindi ako. Ikaw mas nakakaalam yan.
Talaga? Well, thank you for that very wonderful question. Candidate number 1. Hindi. Seriously speaking, unang-una, depende talaga sa preference ng tao yan. May mga taong gusto nila, compatible sila sa partner nila. Meron namang okay lang din sa opposite silang mag-partner. In my case, based on my experience, I married someone who is completely opposite to me. Okay? The thing is, dahil hindi kami magkatulad at hindi kami compatible sa maraming bagay, yung weaknesses ko, siya yung strengths niya, at yung weaknesses niya, siya yung strengths ko. So every time na ako yung low, siya yung high, at every time na siya naman yung low, ako yung high, nag-hype sa kanya. So it's parang nababalance namin yung isa't isa. The disadvantage though, na opposite kami as couple, yun nga, pagdating sa pagkain, halimbawa gusto kong kumain ng ganito, ayaw niya. Yung mga ganun, actually, hindi away ang tawag doon. It's more of like a petty quarrel na parang, oh, come on, di ba? You could, sabi ko nga, brush it off kasi hindi siya ganun kalalim. I think what's important here is, it's okay that you have opposite characteristics and traits, but you have to have common plans about the relationship. What I'm trying to say here is, okay lang, hindi kayo pareho ng gusto sa mga bagay-bagay. Gusto niya pizza, ikaw chicken. Pero pagdating sa takbo ng relasyon, pareho niyong gusto, nagtutugma. Diba? Kasi kapag yung gusto niyo sa relationship, yun na yung opposite, naku po, you better, take the opposite direction na. Halimbawa, ikaw gusto mo na nang mag-settle down. Siya gusto niya chill lang or live in lang. Yun na, hindi na yun opposite attracts. Talagang magkaiba na kayo ng gusto nun. Direction that you want to choose for the relationship. But as long as you have the same goal for the relationship, regardless if you do not have the same preferences on things, I think it's okay. Diba? If you're getting my point. Ikaw, Sir Drew, do opposites attract?
Lagay sa akin siya, no? Kasi dalawa yan. One is that it's either do opposites attract or do birds of a
Medyo
feather flock
naglalag lang
together.
sa search. There you go.
Ayan. Do
Yeah.
birds of a feather flock together. So it's either kung pareho kayo ng gusto or pag yung pareho kayo or totally magkaiba kayo.
Yep.
Alin dyan yung mas sinasabi mo sigurong mas maganda or mas magandang circumstance? Neither. Okay, diretso na kita. Okay, neither. Sir, bakit mo nasabi na neither? It's more of how you interact with one another. It's how you show care with one another. It's how you're able to show your traits of warmth and how you're able to express or even embrace the things that are positive and negative with for the both of you. Ganun siya, yung dynamic na yun. Kasi even though, tama naman sinasabi ni Ma'am na kung magka-opposite kayo, meron kayong mga strengths at weaknesses na napupuno nyo sa bawat isa. Same thing din naman sa sa pagiging if you have the same traits or same personalities. Dahil nga pareho kayo, you jive together. Pero it's not really that hindi mo dapat i-limit doon. Kailangan mo i-consider na once you are in a relationship, you need to understand how do I interact with this person? How can I show that I care for this person? How do I show my quote-unquote love for this person? Ganun dapat siya titignan. Okay?
Yep.
And that's
in
according to
addition,
research.
yeah.
According to Seldman.
Again, science-based tayo. Right?
Ayun.
And in addition to, you have to check as well your standards as a person. I think it's not a matter of compatibility or, you being opposite. It's really the standards. Kasi pwedeng yung tao, opposite kayo, pero yung standards mo, pasok siya sa banga. Di ba? Or pwede namang compatible kayo, tapos yung standards mo, hindi niya nami-meet. Di ba? May mga ganun kasi. So, sabi ko nga, know your deal breakers, what are your standards, and, take it from there. Kahit pa opposite mo yan, kung talagang halimbawa, nasa kanya lahat ng hinahanap mo, it's just that hindi kayo pareho ng preferences, then it might be a good risk to make. Diba? Give it a try. Ayan. Tsaka again, depende sa tao yan. But, sabi ko nga, ako in my case, I could speak for my own experiences. Dahil opposite kami ng husband ko, there are pros, there are cons. And even if you're compatible, I think there are also pros and cons.
Yeah, they are.
Okay? Sabi ni Justin, hi pinsan, hello cousin, what up? And then Larissa, learn to adjust din kasi before you got together, may mga different tastes kayo. Also, understand the person. Example, bakit siya impulsive or complicated? Know them deep down para alam niyo approach. Yeah.
So, yan.
Diba?
May
Kilalanin nyo.
Totoo yan. May follow-up si Gray siya may follow-up question si Gray. Sabi niya dito, sige ma'am, may
yep,
show.
Eto, sabi niya, go. No,
sige,
go.
Is it better to marry someone similar to you or opposite from you? I think na-establish natin to. Did we?
Yes, oo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the bottom line is it doesn't really matter if you're similar with each other or you're opposite from each other.
Yeah.
What matters here is that you're willing to accept the differences and you're willing to rejoice the similarities.
Yeah.
Yun lang yun kasi. Diba? Sabi nga nila, kahit pa nga yung taong nakasama mo na ng 10 years, alam mong compatible kayo. On the 11th year, biglang may mga bago kang bagay na malalaman tungkol sa taong yun eh. Because remember, behavior and characteristics and traits, they change depending on the needs of the person. Diba? So, halimbawa,
fluid sila,
during the first 5 years, cool-headed, level-headed, hindi mainit ng ulo. On the 6th year of your relationship, marriage, biglang, ba't naiinis ka? Diba? We change. We're emotional beings. So, you have to understand that dynamic too. So, hindi naman porket compatible kayo nung pinakasalan mo yan, hanggang kamatayan compatible kayo. Whether you like it or not, there will be bumps and changes along the process of your relationship. And what will you do? So, hindi na tayo compatible, maghiwalay na tayo? That's not how it is, right? Because we're no longer compatible. Let's take advantage. Let's grow. Diba? That's how you must look at it. Diba? Okay, now you want kayaking? I'm not fond of kayaking. It's time for me to learn kayaking. Oh, you're playing Mobile Legends? I'm really not that much onto gaming. Let's try playing it together. Stuff like that.
Yeah. Yung ganun mga bagay, just put this into context na lang na when challenges are present, it's time for you to grow. Yun yung sinasabi lang ni ano
Mhm.
ni V. These are avenues for you to develop yourself further, to know more of yourself. Kasi yun nga, sabihin natin hindi ka nga gamer before, pero dahil nga yung partner mo gamer siya. O ngayon, alam mo yun, you are now entering his world in terms of that context. Okay?
Mhm.
Naiintindihan mo, ay, ito pala yung nararamdaman ng jowa ko kapag naglalaro siya. Alam mo yun,
Yes.
naiintindihan mo siya. And that's what I told you a while ago, to answer your question nga na, it really boils down to you interacting. Kasi you don't interact and you don't treasure how you behave with each other, then you will not
Mhm.
know each other in the process. Ganun siya.
Yes. 'Di ba? So again, it boils down to accepting the person whether you're compatible with him, her or not. Ganun
Mm.
siya. But then again, preference yan. Sabi nga atin to ni John Espera. So, paano kung gusto niya ma-access? Tapos ako McDo. Saan ba dapat?
Eh di
You
mag-take
know
out
what?
kayo.
Pwedeng ganito Ito. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm supposed to say. Practical answer. Take out kayo sa McDo, take out kayo sa Max, picnic kayo sa park,
Oo, gano'n.
or uwi
Ano
kayo sa
mag-take out kayo.
bahay. Netflix and
Tama,
chill. 'Di
'di ba?
ba? Kasi ang hirap kasi na I mean, pwede mong pagbigyan kung ganun ang tawag dito, kapag bigay sa partner mo. Pero kung talagang nagka-crave ka ng McDo sa araw na yon, gusto niya talaga Max, mag-take out kayo. Or
Yeah.
kain muna kayo sa McDo, tapos kain kayo sa Max.
Yeah, I think ito
Food
yung
trip.
open mo kanina na parang
Mm.
these petty matters can be resolved. Hindi
Mhm.
kailangan palakihin. So
Yep.
kung yung issue nyo is you don't know kung saan kayo kakain, may solution doon. Hindi naman end of the world. So there
Mhm.
are ways to resolve those kinds of issues.
Yes. So, again, these are petty matters lang. Pero kapag yung differences nyo malalim na, ayun, medyo,
Ayun, oo.
'di ba? Doon medyo
Lalo na
kailangan
rin
pag-usapan.
Yeah, lalo na rin kapag yung mga petty na yun, interconnected with previous experiences and previous issues. Yung talagang pinakakalaliman ng iyong relasyon, yun yung pinuhuhugutan mo. Like for example, if you
Mm.
were already together 10 years, pero yung pinuhugutan mo nung second or third year nyo pa
Mm.
lang, ayun, medyo, alam mo yun, I think something happened along the process na kailangan nyo talagang ayusin yun.
Mm.
And sometimes, ito yung
Mm.
sinasabi ko kanina, sometimes you can compromise and sometimes you can't.
Mhm.
Okay? And so kapag na-compromise sila, maayos ang relasyon. And if you can't, then that's maybe one reason why you are fighting. Okay?
Mhm.
You might not be fighting yung restaurant. Baka pinag-aawayan nyo, baka meron kayong uh, may happening way back doon sa restaurant na yun. Kaya, alam mo yun,
Mhm.
nagigets niyo ba? Yung parang ganong
Yes,
mga
yes.
matters.
Yes. Or probably napag-usapan niyo na before yung differences niyo sa preferences niyo, pero walang nagbago. Alam mo 'yun,
Mm.
even if you agreed to change for each other or adjust to one another's preferences, pero after a month ganun pa rin, 'yon, kasi attitude na 'yon, hindi na 'yun preference. Ibig
Mm.
sabihin, the other person is no longer willing, to do something nice for you or for the relationship. Yon,
Yeah.
medyo complicated na yon. All right?
Tama.
But as long as they're petty and shallow, come on, give them a break. Now let's go to number 4. Intimacy and romance. What about this?
Hmm.
Sometimes relationships or couples argue and fight because number 1, the other person is lacking affection, whether physically or verbally. Tapos yung mga monthsary, weeksary, daysary, minutesary, or
Minutes.
the
Gusto ko yung
anniversary
minutes, sorry.
are already being forgotten. Maybe because the relationship has been there for so long that take those things for granted already. And then making love. Ayan, if you're married, live in, boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever, if you're engaging with it, we respect you for that. Wala na, or maybe you're not being satisfied, I don't know. And then going out on dates. Ngayong pandemic, hindi kanya na dinidate, so hindi na siya nag-e-effort. Even online dates, hindi na niya ginagawa for you. Or praising or hyping up each other, no more. So let's talk about intimacy and romance as a factor to why couples argue or the lack of those per se. Why do they argue or why do they break up? Ayan. Totoo naman. Aminin natin, sa stages ng relationship, unang buwan, unang linggo, sweet pa kayo. Honeymoon stage. Let's be honest about it. A few months after, years, whether you like it or you don't, you get comfortable with each other. So yung intimacy and romance, I wouldn't say nawawala, pero nagsasubside. Okay? So kung dati, palagi kanyang binibigyan ng physical affection or verbal affection, ngayon, nag-makeup ka, nagbihis ka, wala man lang, uy, ang ganda mo today ah. Or nag-gel ka, nagpabango ka, uy, gwapo mo today, ang bango mo ah, ang hot mo today ah, wala nang ganon. Or probably dati, you're very hot for each other, yung magka-brush lang kayo ng kamay, you know the action will continue on. Pero ngayon, kahit pilitin mo na siya, pagod ako, please lang, let me sleep. Stuff like that.
Gabi
So,
na,
Sir
no?
Joe,
So, gabi na,
yes,
no?
it's already 9:19. We could talk about sex.
Fine. Okay, we can talk about these things. Anyways, I was able to read this earlier this morning, kaya nung sinari mo sa akin yung yung lineup ng pag-uusapan natin, I hurriedly look for it again kasi nabigla ako. It's somehow related.
Yeah.
At nabigla ako, nandito siya sa topic natin. Of course, we are all in quarantine, and according to Forbes.com, in a recent study nung last April lang, according to the study, there are married and engaged couples in quarantine are fighting more, sabi daw niya. And sabi ko, oh, very timely pa yung pag-uusapan natin. And
Exactly.
and sabi nga, the most common conflict is that there is less and less intimacy with the couples. So, meaning less and less action. yun yung gusto ko sabihin dyan. Okay?
Uh-huh.
And it somehow nabigla rin ako at saka na-curious din ako. At syempre, alam mo naman na interesado ako sa ganitong mga topics, sa ganitong mga studies. Na maybe because, ang sabi daw sa research is that dahil daw ang dami na natin ginagawa sa sarili natin mga bahay, nagiging nagkaroon ng uncertainty, spurs of the moment na parang hindi na alam kung anong susunod na gagawin. So anong endpoint niya? Magkakaroon ng build-up of stress and anxiety. So ang reason kung bakit stress ka anxious ka kasi hindi mo na alam anong next mong gagawin. So anong nangyari? Instead na ikaw maging intimate ka sa partner mo, sa jowa mo, sa wife or husband mo, mas iniisip mo at stress ka sa situation mo na naka-quarantine ako ngayon, hindi ko alam susunod kong gagawin. In short, naka-quarantine ka na, kino-quarantine mo pang sarili mo sa dapat mong gawin. If I'm making much sense. Ganun siya. So instead of you showing affection or intimacy to your partner, you're more anxious and stressed with what is currently going on. Yung nangyayaring dynamic natin ngayon.
So, kasalanan talaga ng pandemic eh.
Yeah, kasalanan ng pandemya. Kung bakit ganyan yung mga situation natin ngayon. I mean, yeah, we didn't want this naman. Oo nga, we didn't want this. Pero of course, may mga repercussions siya, may mga circumstances na, may mga outcome siya, in short. Okay?
It's really a factor whether you like it or you don't. The kind of situation that we have. If before you could date each other every week, ngayon, how do you do that? Because you have to stay in quarantine, and restaurant or pubs or coffee shops, they don't really open late night or whatever, you know? So, yung adjustment nandoon. But then again, dun papasok yung, okay, so we could not see each other physically. How about we date each other online? Again, some guys, some girls would go the extra mile to show you their affection even if you're physically distant. But then there are other guys who are incapable of that because of some restrictions. One, paano kung walang internet? All he could do is call you. Diba? Or walang budget kasi na-lay off sa trabaho. Stuff like that. So kung monthly binibigyan kanyang gift during your special days, ngayon hindi kanya mabigyan kasi walang magde-deliver kundi Food Panda or Grab Food. Alam mo yun? Those kinds of things. But the thing is, what if you're inside the same house? You're married and you are live-in partners. Ngayon, pumapasok dyan yung sinabi ni Larissa, which I have to highlight kasi I have to agree. Huwag masyado mag-browse sa FB minsan kasi minsan nakakainggit yun eh. Haha. Anyways, kung malamig na, learn when and how to create some spark. Talking about FB here, why I said I have to agree. Kasi ganito yan. Nowadays, because we are on quarantine, the entire day kasama natin yung significant other natin. So, hindi natin sila parang nami-miss. because they're just around. Alam mo yon.
Yeah.
At the same
Yeah.
time, because we are bored the entire time sa bahay, ano ang pinaka-outlet natin? Internet, social media, gadgets. Unlike before na TV lang or radyo lang or pagbabasa lang ang pinaka-source ng entertainment, kapag nakita mo yung wife mo, inip na inip kayo, uy, let's make some lovin', lovey-dovey. Alam mo yon?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
only
yeah.
have each other to entertain. Pero ngayon, there
Yeah.
are a lot of sources of entertainment na parang, let's not cuddle. Let's just watch Netflix. This is more interesting than cuddling and doing some lovey-dovey stuff. Which
Yeah.
is, I feel, unhealthy if it's a recurring situation kung paulit-ulit. Yung parang nasasanay na lang kayo. Kasi for one, intimacy and affection is what really sparks a relationship.
Mm.
And if it's gone, ano yun, magkapatid na lang kayo? Not even friends with benefits, di ba? So, I think it's important na if you are in a relationship and if the relationship permits sexual intimacy, physical intimacy, or even verbal intimacy, do not take it for granted regardless kung nasa pandemic era tayo, post-pandemic era. We
Mm.
have to show our partner constantly that we seek them, that we desire them. Because desire is a playful element in relationships. And without that feeling, magtataka ka eh, do you still want me? Am I not
Mm.
attractive enough to you anymore? Am I ugly na to you? Do I have to lose weight? Do I have to wear lingerie? What not? Or ano mo yun? Those kinds of things, doubts, confusions, questions will raise kapag talaga hindi mo binibigyan ng affection at intimacy yung partner mo. Di ba, Sir Drew?
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. Merong isang line sa sa research na sinasabi ko sa'yo na it's a very practical thing that we know about already. Na nabigla ako na nandun siya sa research. Ang sabi niya dito na couples should make a priority to deepen their emotional connection by finding new ways to spend their time together. So, tama kasi sinabi mo whether
Mm.
it's current during the pandemic or post-pandemic pa yan, you need to find a way to spark to give it another spark to lighten yung fire na medyo na humihina na. So hindi siya
Mhm.
reason na para sabihin mo na parang well, I already have companionship with you. I think that's not enough reason. You really need to know the person more. Kasi alam mo yun, kahit na nasa isang bubong na kayo, for example, sa mga married couples or even naka-live-in, sinasabi na mas makikilala mo yung tao kapag na kayo. Tama yun. Pero across
Mhm.
so many years, talagang mas makikilala mo siya. Hindi porket na nasa isang bubong na kayo, automatic kilala mo na yung tao. There are some
Mhm.
secrets, there are some things that you really don't know about the person, yet the moment that you said, I do, or the moment that you said na kailangan nasa isang bubong na kayo, for the longest time, you will really, really know together. So for the longest time, you really need to know how to deepen your emotional connection with each other and to find ways to spend time together.
Yep.
Ang daming pwedeng gawin kasi. Like, hindi lang kung if your bonding time is to watch TV or kung wala namang TV, kung meron kayong ML, edi mag-ML kayong dalawa. Yan. Kung
Mhm.
bonding niyo sa bahay ang pagluluto, edi mag-bonding kayo magluto. Yun ang mga bagay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you know what? To be honest, since I'm married and it's already 9:26 on the clock, and children are probably asleep. Ako, speaking personally, I don't know for others. It's not just always about sex.
Yeah,
Physical
definitely.
intimacy is not always about sex. Alam mo, I don't know if the girls who are watching us right now will agree with me na sometimes when your partner just lays down beside you and cuddles you and asks you, "How are you? What do you wanna eat? Are you okay? May problema ka ba? May nararamdaman ka ba?" That is so sexy. That is so sexy already. You don't have to take off your clothes to show your sexiness or manliness to your wife. The mere fact that you're not touching your phone, you're just there beside your wife, caressing her hair, cuddling her, asking her, "What do you want for dinner? What do you want for breakfast?" or whatever time of day it is. "Do you want me to cook for you?" Oh, kumusta na? Because you know what, nowadays, more than ever, ngayon tayo dapat nag-uusap-usap because nakakabaliw ang quarantine.
Totoo yan.
'Di ba? So set aside your gadgets, kausapin po yung mga partner ninyo.
I think what you're telling everyone is
'Di ba?
sheltering behavior. Maging bahay ka sa sarili
Oo.
mong bahay. Parang ikaw yung maging bubungan ng partner mo na parang you hug the person. Kasi iba kasi kapag yung hawak lang eh. Yung ginaganon mo lang, yung mere touch na alam mong nanggaling sa taong mahal mo,
Mahal
yung taong
mo.
sincere, di ba? It's really different. Iba yung feeling na yun.
Ayan. So, sabi dito ni Gray, oh, they say, kapag nanlalamig na, baka may iba ng pinag-iinitan. Naku po, mamaya yan sa ibang numbers. Pag-uusapan natin yan. Lilitaw yan maya-maya. And then
Mm.
sabi ni Larissa, set aside muna ang paghawak sa phones nyo. Turn on the TV and mag-Netflix and chill kayo. Tama. Diba? Bond
Totoo
with
naman
each
yun.
other. And then Gray said, when you're not romantic with your partner, he or she is eventually going to stop asking for romance, especially after being turned down. Totoo din. Turned
Totoo
down to
yun!
several times. Totoo
Totoo
yun. Triggered
yun!
kami. Triggered kami ni Sir Drew. Hindi kasi alam mo, the feeling of rejection, it's not easy ah. The first one, okay, you'll try to understand. The second one, you'll try to understand. The third one, you'll try to ask why. Kasi parang, what's wrong? Doon na magkaroon ng confusion. Why are you rejecting me all of a sudden? Or why are you not giving me the intimacy or the romance that you used to show me before? May iba na ba? O yung mga speculation na ganyan. So again, in relationships consistency is key. Kung anong ginagawa mo nung nililigawan or nagliligawan pa lang kayo, dapat hanggang sa maging mag-asawa at ugod-ugod na kayo, ganoon pa rin sana. Ideally I wouldn't say realistically ganun ang nangyayari, pero ideally sana ganoon ang mangyari sa mga
Yeah,
magkakarelasyon.
tama.
And then Larissa said, kaya before, madami mga anak lolo at lola natin. Kasi nowadays, we don't talk na. True! Diba? That's true. And then Janice Perez said, bigyan mo po ate ng pizza yung pepperoni flavor. Ano?
Ano daw?
para maging intimate pizza with pepperoni flavor? Parang
Siguro
yung
nagpaparamdam lang siya.
pepperoni.
Baka
Parang
nagpaparamdam.
mas gusto ko yung
Yung jowa
all
niya nanonood din.
toppings. Oo.
Nagpaparamdam.
Yeah.
Pizza na
And
may pepperoni
then,
flavor.
sabi ni Larissa, yes, hindi naman yan sa sex. Mas gusto pa nga naming mga girls ang hugs, watch with us, or yung hayaan ka lang nila humiga beside them. That's true. That's intimacy already. It's not just about sex. Really. Ayan. Tapos sabi ni Cassie,
Kaya
hello
si...
Cass, pwede manood kahit walang jowa. Love your channel, te. Pwede, Cass. Para pag nagka-jowa ka ulit, di ba? Ready na. Thank you for watching. Kumusta sa mga Junakis mo, kina Vicky, kina Tita, sa inyong lahat, kina Charlie. Ayan. Pati kay Michelle Dongpand. Kung nandun siya sa bahay. Ito mga kaibigan kong solid. Ayan. Thank you for joining the live stream. So yun, affection and intimacy, kahit pa matagal na po kayong magkarelasyon, please do not lose the spark. Do not lose the spark. It's important. It's not really, it's not the only way to keep the relationship, but it is one of the most important ways to keep the relationship. Okay? Be adventurous with each other, for each other, through each other, and by each other. Yan, ang dami ng prepositions nun. Bahala na kayo mag-imagine kung papaano.
Ano yan? For each other, through it, ano? Dami yan.
Di ba? Through each other, by each other, with each other, for each other.
For each other.
Di ba? Madaming paraan paano maging intimate sa isa't isa. Tapos sabi ni Gray, pwede po bang i-fake yon, lalo na kung wala sa mood talaga? I think honesty is important. Huwag i-fake.
Yun. Yeah.
Huwag i-fake.
Maybe if you really are in the mood, then be honest that you're not really are in the mood. Ganun lang naman yun. Kailangan nyo pag-usapan yung mga ganun mga bagay.
You can tell the person naman.
Yeah.
Oo. Lalo na if pagod from work, tapos kakauwi lang, and then ikaw bagong ligo and all that, tapos biglang you're trying to seduce your partner, caress him, tapos biglang, you could just say, baby, I appreciate you, you look so great, ang sexy mo, but not tonight, bawi ako sa'yo bukas, pwedeng matulog muna tayo na maaga. Or let's just cuddle, alam mo yun, and fall asleep ng sabay. That's sweet pa rin. You're not rejecting the person right off the bat. You're just giving her or him the context na, I want you, it's just that physically I am not able because I'm tired. Diba? But faking it is not healthy.
Yeah, it's not.
For me, faking it's not healthy. Tapos sabi ni Cassie, yes sir, sabi niya.
There.
Larissa, pwede naman siya i-fake kaso why would you fake it, 'di ba? Ayan yung may
Oh,
mga hanash ni
exactly.
Larissa.
Yan. Yan. Mga hanash niya.
Sabi niya, why not cuddles na muna? It will come kapag bet na talaga. Kung pagod talaga, hindi kaya na, talaga, hindi
Ano?
kaya, wag na lang. Kaya nga, love making siya.
Siya.
Yes.
Yes.
Ayun. So, yon, di
Nag,
ba?
na,
Sabi ko naman sa inyo.
observations doon. Nagsigisingan yung mga ano. Nung sinabi namin,
Oo,
gabi na, di ba?
buhay na buhay.
Buhay na
Yung mga
buhay.
dugo
Maraming salamat sa iyong
ng
mga
madlang
feedback,
people.
mga comment.
Yes, thank you so much. Ayan, in connection to intimacy and romance, we'll have the third one, time and attention. Ito, isa rin to sa madalas pag-awayan ng mga magjojowa, mag-asawa, magka-live-in dahil yung isa wala ng panahon na binibigay at atensyon na ibinibigay doon sa kapartner niya. Bakit? Tingnan natin kung bakit ayon sa aking listahan. Ngayon, couples fight
Basa.
when the other person has no time for the other person. Why? Maybe because of work or other things. When the other person replies too late to messages, when the other person does not update or call, when the other person leaves the other person on scene but is active online, when someone tries to converse and the other person is not listening, hey guys, what's up for you? And then when someone needs caring, like probably the person is sick, but the other person is not willing to take care of that person. So let's talk about time and attention in connection to intimacy and romance. Sabi ko nga kanina, dahil sa exposure natin sa maraming entertainment sources, YouTube, gaming, live streaming, I don't know what else, internet, hindi na natin nabibigyan ng time and priority yung partner natin. Even sa pag-answer na lang sa mga text nila. Or, yung sa tawagan sila, i-update sila kung nasa trabaho tayo. Ako kasi naniniwala na ang busy ay isang konsepto ng mga taong ayaw ka talagang bigyan ng panahon. Okay? Kasi, even if you're busy with a lot of things, if the person really matters to you, pwede namang 10 to 30 seconds or a minute, you call the person or send the text if you couldn't really call the person. Honey, babe, I have a lot on my plate right now. Please do understand that I could not reply to you the soonest possible time you want me to. Later when I finish this, I promise I'll call you. At least give the person the heads up that you are busy. Hindi yung parang ini-ignore mo. Okay? Because telling the person that you're busy is acknowledging that you respect the attention that he or she wants. It's just that you're not permitted because of the type of work that you have. But definitely, you're not ignoring him or her. But a lot of times nowadays, ito yung nangyayari sa atin. Why are you not replying? Why are you not calling? Naglalaro. Di ba? Nanonood. I'm not saying that you avoid your me time because that's important. But then again, as much as possible, try to give naman the person, some signal na, uy, may ginagawa ako kaya hindi ako makareply. Diba, Sir Drew?
Yeah, I think what you're telling everyone is that you need to acknowledge. Yun yung number one dyan. Na parang, if you really are busy, for instance, using yung example ni V, if you really are busy, then acknowledge that you are busy and acknowledge that somebody is there waiting for you. Ganun, yun yung kailangang i-consider dyan. And as you acknowledge it, you communicate. Hindi naman pwedeng, I acknowledge it na, sabi nung, so, hayaan ko na lang. No. You have to communicate that to the other person para eventually they would respond as well to how you would like to respond to how you want to respond do sa situation ninyo. Okay? Kasi it's
Kaso
inevitable
kasi,
Yeah, I mean on my end kasi what I consider the situation na there will be some moments that you will not find time for each other. Lalo na kapag masyado kayong malayo sa isa't isa. It's inevitable. So what do you need to do? You really need to communicate, acknowledge, and respond for each other's sake. Pero ang problem kasi dyan, I think this is where you're trying to bend it a bit. Na paano kung nasa isang bubong lang naman kayo? Paano kung kayong dalawa tapos all of a sudden, di pa kayo makapagbigay ng oras para sa isa. The moment that you wake up, siya ang kaharap mo. The moment that you sleep already, siya pa rin ang kaharap mo. Pero wala kayong oras para sa isa't isa. Hindi kayo nagbibigay ng attention. Okay?
Yes. Kasi
So,
you have to admit it din, Sir Drew. I don't know if you've seen situations like this, but I've seen a lot of situations like this already because sometimes I go through them as well.
mm-mm,
So pag kumakain na lang, instead na magkwentuhan, gadget ang hawak.
mm-mm,
Kumakain na, you have gadgets. I think this should not be practiced at home talaga, especially if you have children. When you're in front of the food, when you're eating as a family, as much as possible, wag nyong dalhin yung mga gadgets nyo sa table. Okay? Huwag kayong nagbe-browse ng TikTok or Facebook while eating. Talk to each other. Or kung wala naman kayo sa bahay, you're dating your boyfriend and your girlfriend, ang tagal yung hindi nagkita because of pandemic, but you risked it all, nagmask kayo just because you miss each other.
mm-mm,
Tapos pagdating sa restaurant kung saan kakain, instead of talking or asking each other how you've been for the time na hindi kayo magkasama, cellphone yung hawak nyo. 'Di ba? What we're trying to say here is, wag nating bigyan ng halaga yung mga bagay more than the person that we are with. Ako dito, ako dito, guilty ako. Especially when I'm with Sir Drew, pag lumalabas kami. Even as friends, minsan hawak ko yung phone ko and then consciously, I'm not touching it kasi feeling ko I'm disrespecting him. Na parang, hey, we're hanging out. We should be the ones talking and we're not supposed to, touch our phones while we're talking. So, it's not only applicable to friends, but let's do it especially with our partners.
mm-mm.
Diba?
If I might add to that, your partners, our partners, they have, or
Yeah, go
we
ahead.
all have needs. Okay? Especially the
Mm-hmm.
need to be noticed. Yan. Especially kung kayo talaga, kung magjowa kayo. Kasi syempre you need to parang, huy, Han, babe, baby, I'm here. Yan. Yung ganung mga
Me.
moments lang. Mio, ano yun, parang,
Mm-mm.
huwag ka lang sa laptop mo, huwag ka lang sa phone ko. Eto ako, you can talk to me. Yan. Yung ganung mga moments. Kasi,
Mm-mm.
it really is, we opened the floor kanina with the word about rejection. It's one way of you rejecting the person kasi. And that's harsh.
Yes.
Lalo na kapag naiisang bubong na kayo.
Mm-mm.
Again, ulitin ko, we all
Tsaka
have needs. We need the need to seek attention, the need to be noticed. Yan. Kailangan kasi natin ma-satisfy yun. Sige, ma'am.
mm-mm. And if you have other things to attend to besides your partner, I think it's healthy too that you schedule it. Like for example, babe, pag Saturday 1 to 5, game time ko yon. So, pag nag-text ka or whatever, hindi ako sumasagot, you know it's my gaming time. Post 1 to 5, pre 1 to 5, if you want my undivided attention, let's do it. I think it's healthy to condition your relationship that way para at least alam niyo yung expectations niyo sa isa't isa.
Yeah.
Pero yun nga, sabi nga natin kanina, for example, walang work, walang gaming, kayong dalawa lang dapat, but you're paying more attention sa ibang bagay kesa sa taong kasama mo. I think that is not just being, you're not just rejecting the person, you're being disrespectful na dun sa time and attention na binibigay niya sa'yo.
Yeah.
Diba? Imagine, nag-makeup yan, nagbihis yan, nagpabango, nagpagwapo, tapos hindi mo siya titignan ng hawak mo, cellphone mo, or you look bored, you'd rather go home and spend some night playing online. That's harsh. That's really harsh. Okay.
Yeah.
Ayan. Nag-ano na nito, nagdidebatehan sila Risa at si Grace. So let's try to read their comments.
I'm actually reading them right now. And I'm just fascinated din kasi.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Go,
sige,
Sir Drew.
madam.
Please read them. Go.
Sana tayo. Like what I said.
Like what I
ito ba yun?
said.
Like what I
Yes,
said.
yes.
Kung exhaust mo yung pag-online games or browse Facebook, give some time din sa partner mo. Sometimes the person on the other side of the relationship really needs your attention. Kapag may konting breaks sa kabisihan, kabisihan mo lang, ask them how they are doing. Okay. Yeah, but may point naman, yeah. You really need to communicate talaga kapag ganyan yung case. And then, ang sagot ni Gray dyan, sige, madam.
Baka pwede namang iset ang Sunday na family day talaga, especially if you're both busy throughout the week. Yes, sabi ko nga, scheduling.
Yeah. It's really important. I just forgot to open this a while ago. I have married friends. Hindi sa Saturday, pero if there are particular times of weekdays ha, dahil sila work from home sila, ang ginagawa nila is that I have one two friends, married friends na dahil pareho silang marunong mag-play ng instrument, they set a time to play instruments together. Then yung isa pang
Aw.
couple friend na nakakilala ko, ang ginagawa nila is that before they sleep, basta gabi siya ang sinasabi kasi sa akin, basta gabi, they pick their favorite books kasi they have their mini library sa bahay and then they read together. And then sabi ko, seryoso kayo?
Aw.
Sabi niya, oo naman. Kasi anong gagawin pa namin? Eh, this is the only thing that we can do as of the moment. Sabi ko, oo nga naman, may point. Sabi ko, so it really boils down
Mm.
to scheduling. It's not necessarily na
Yes.
weekend, it's not necessarily na weekdays. As long as you compromise yun sa schedule ninyo. Kapag open kayo,
Mm.
just to spend time for your time and attention for that person.
Yep. And it's nice if you like the same things. Now, if you don't like the same things, take turns. Today, it's Mobile Legends night because I'll do what you like. Next week,
Yeah,
we have to watch K-drama because I love
yeah,
K-drama. Stuff like that.
yeah. It brings
Diba?
spice to the relationship actually.
Exactly. Yep. And then sabi ni Larissa, ako even with friends or even kausap lang, I don't hold my phone screens down or nakabag kasi we have to respect the person's time. Yes, I
Yeah.
agree. I'm guilty of this too. Sabi ko nga pag kami ni Sir Drew lumalabas, I'm always with my phone. But as much as possible, I try not to touch it. Yep. That's very important. The moment you hold your phone, it's because both of you are looking at the same screen. Ay, my heart pa.
Ay. Sabi naman ni Gray dito, right, Larissa De
Uh-huh.
Leon, you have to devote more time to your partner. That's why you married your wife, na di ba? Dizon 2020.
It's official. It's on the records.
It's already
W-
there.
Yep. We shall not be able to use that statement without citing the proper person, the
Zone
authority.
2020.
Okay, and then the bantering continues. Haha, love it. Attitude, si ate girl. And then Gray said, haha, no comment ako dyan. Thank you to you both. You're spicing up more the
Yeah.
conversation. And I hope the other viewers who are with us right now will join us too. Hindi lang po para sa aming apat ang episode na to. It's for
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah.
So if you have comments, questions, suggestions, whatever, feel free to drop them on the comment box. All right. So that is, I've lost count. Number 3, time and affection.
Affection,
Again,
yeah.
always choose your partner over other things. Okay? Whether that be a gadget, a friend, whatever, basta. Always choose the person you love. Kaya nga, pinili mong maging wife, di ba? Dizon 2020. Ayan. Now, let's go to number 2. Eto, medyo mabigat din to. And this is the reality of life. A lot of couples break up or fight because of vices. And what are these vices? You have drinking, smoking, drugs, gaming, shopping, makeup. If I may include, just to be fair, just to balance it, to balance the playing field. Hindi lang lalaki ang may mga bisyo. Kami din pong mga babae. So one of the
Dagdag ko
things
rin
that we fight,
gadgets, mga ganun.
diba? Gadgets, yes. One of the things that we fight about when we're in relationships, vices. Ayan, paano ba natin to i-resolve? Naku po. Honestly speaking, ang pinaka-context dito, nung bang pinakasalan mo or ginawa mo, may vice na. 'Di ba? Kasi kung alam mo that prior to the relationship with the person, existing na yung vices niya, aware ka, tinanggap mo, kasi lalo na yung mga babae, meron kaming superhero complex eh. Even the guys, we have superhero complex na parang, I'll be the person who will change this person. Kung nagiinom to, because of me, hindi na siya magiinom. Kung nagsusmoke to, because of me, hindi na siya magsusmoke. Kasi mahal niya ako. Sorry, honey, to break your bubble, it's not the case for everybody. Okay? Just because the person loves you, it doesn't mean natatalikuran niya yung vision niya para sa'yo. You're not the one who's supposed to save the person. In fact, you cannot save everybody from vices. But again, going back to the context, if you met the person prior to the relationship and you know he's into those kinds of stuff, pero tinanggap mo, what can you do? Diba? But if those vices are resulting to, okay, again, if those vices are resulting to something abusive and dangerous, it's time to rethink the relationship. Okay? What do I mean? Drinking, addiction. Smoking, addiction. Health problems arise. Drugs, naku po, ito, medyo mabigat to. Binubugbog ka na, or nag-hallucinate na kung asawa mo yan, sinasaksak ka na, or whatever. Maybe then, it's time to think about it. No? And then gaming, it's also an addiction. I've seen 2 cases online already kung saan hiniwalayan ng mga girlfriend at asawa nila yung mga partner nila because of too much gaming. So, Sir Drew, you're a gamer. What's your
Oh
thought
yeah.
on this? Oh, you do play. You do play. PS.
Yeah, I know, but every night just to
I
lessen
don't
the
know.
tension every day. Anyways, pero take note ha, gaming is not yet a categorized addiction, particularly categorized in addiction. I mean, hindi pa
Mm-hmm.
a proper diagnosis. But in terms of dito yung mga consequences, there are consequences for that. So there
Mm-hmm.
gaming has the good benefits and there's also a bad side to it. Anyways, just to answer the second item regarding vices, I just need to reiterate this with what I mentioned a while ago regarding preferences and differences. That there are certain core differences between the two of you, either your natures or ideologies, that can be resolved, and at some context they are they're not resolvable. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
There are may ganung mga bagay. I think you mentioned a while ago na nakasanayan ng isang taong yan, it becomes completely part of their personalities. It becomes part of their being already. So, for
Mm-hmm.
example, if ever since sabihin natin mahilig talaga siya sa mga gadgets, sabihin natin. At kaya naman niyang bumili ng mga gadgets. At yun talaga yung pinaka-pastime niya, yun yung pinaka-hobby niya. It's hard to remove that from the person instantly. Okay? So, anong pwedeng i-consider dyan? Una, the typical thing is to accept that. Okay? To
Mm-hmm.
embrace those things that you are very different from each other. Okay? But there are some instances that are somehow kailangan i-address na sa mataas na ano na, kasi
Mm-hmm.
heightened concern na siya. Like for example, if the person really is tawag dito, an alcoholic for example, and
Mm-hmm.
nanganak pa siya ng isa pang behavior na nagiging abusive na siya physically and verbally sa iyo, then that's a different topic na no.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's where you need to seek professional aid or assistance if that will be the case. And you also need to
Yan.
confront and communicate with each
Banan.
other regarding that matter. Okay? Pero for the typical typical vice na for example, yung mahilig sa games, laging umiinom and so on and so forth. There will be a point wherein may hangganan niya. Then of
Yes.
course, sometimes we just really want the best for our partner. So, like for example, yung sabi nga ni ma'am, if it's drinking or smoking, of course, connected yan sa health issues. Na if you really want to stay together for quite far longer, yeah,
You have to do something about it.
yeah, you have to do something about it. Kasi syempre, alam mo yun, you're responsible for each other, not only for your relationship, but also for each other's health.
Yes, oo. Pero you know what? When it's addiction na talaga, whatever we say as partners, it'll be really difficult to break the habit, diba? Bad habits are hard to break, like what, the saying says. Sabi dito ni
Yes.
Gray, let me just up that one. There you go. I think if you really love your partner more than your vices, you would be more than willing to give them up. Yes, ideally. Or let me just rephrase that a little bit. If you really love your partner and you love yourself, you'd be more than willing to give them up. Okay? Kasi before your partner, what you have to think about here is yourself, especially if you're
Tama.
drinking too much, smoking too much, taking drugs, or, addicted to gaming. It's not really your partner not directly affected, but it's you, your body. Eh. So
Yeah.
if you have self-respect and self-love, you don't really need to consider the love of your partner for you. What you really need to consider is your self-discipline. When am I
Yeah.
going to start changing my ways? You know, because if I will change my ways, what are the benefits of that? I live longer. What will be the benefit of living longer? I can stay longer for my family. Diba? I can love my family longer and better if I am,
Mm.
physically fit and well. Pero yun nga, sabi ko nga, it's an ideal way to think about it na if you love your partner, you'll change for your partner. But what can we do? We can only do so much as partners. We could advise you, we could support you, we could encourage you, but at the end of the day, it is you, the person who's going through the addiction, who will change if you really want to change, regardless if we ask you or we don't.
Yeah.
Diba?
It's connected to
Sadly, madaming mga tao, uh, yeah, go ahead.
sige, madam. Tawag dito. I think you were the gist of what you're saying is that in a relationship, you don't change for the person. You actually change
Mm-hmm.
whatever bad habit that you have or lifestyle that you have for yourself. Ganun lagi yan. Kasi once you start with the
Mm-hmm.
self again, then manganganak siya together with how you can interact with other people, how to interact with your partner. Basta benefits kasi. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I think we made it clear dun sa isang episode no, nung yung birthday episode mo about self-love or self-care.
Yeah.
It's really important na yes, you are in a relationship, pero hindi dapat mawala yung mga teksto ng pagmamahal mo para sa sarili mo. Hindi porket na
Mm-hmm.
nag-asawa ka, hindi porket na nag-live-in na kayo, hindi porket na official na kayo, na magjowa na kayo, hindi ibig sabihin lang nun na kayong dalawa kayo na lang. Kailangan nyo pa rin irespeto na as a person, I still need to grow as a person. I need to love myself as well. So in terms of item number 2 about biases, you also need to take care of yourself in terms of your health and your
Mm-hmm.
well-being. Okay?
Yep. Ayan. And then Gray added here, be willing to break up bad habits or bad vices for you not to break up with your partner. Oo. Siguro yung pinopoint ni Gray dito is, what are you gonna choose? Breaking your partner's heart or breaking your bad vices. So if you're a logical
Mm.
person and you truly love the other person, of course you'd rather break your bad vices than the person's heart. I think that's where he's
Mm.
coming from.
Yeah.
And we
Mm.
have to agree with that, 'di ba?
Yep.
Yon. And then I just want to say a quick hello to Tita Mary Fe Pond, ang nanay ng aking BFF na si Michelle Dong Pond. She's watching us. Hello Tita, kumusta po kayo? I hope you're all healthy and safe. Ayan, and then sabi ni Larissa dito, yung partner naman, don't nag them. Oo, they have vices, but please understand it's hard process. Oo naman.
Yeah
You
naman.
can
Oo.
always be the nicer one here na. You could ask them
Yeah.
nicely, tell them nicely. Oo. Pero whether you like it or not, ha, hindi naman sa kinakampihan ko yung mga partner na nagnanag. Minsan yung nagging kasi, it comes out because of frustration. Like, how many times have you told the person to quit smoking or quit drinking or quit doing drugs? Probably multiple times, hundreds of times already. And the person is not listening. So yung frustration mo, nako-convert siya sa nagging. Yung concern mo, nako-convert siya sa nagging. But
Yeah.
if you have the time to rethink your approach, yeah, we agree, don't nag. Because nagging
Mm.
has nothing to do with it. Sabi nga nila sa Kapampangan, idalan me kang santong paspasan or ketang malumanay nung eya talaga bisa, alang malyari.
Ang
At the
balyari.
end of the day, yes, it's still the person's choice.
Mm.
Okay, we could only do so much, sabi ko nga. But these are, again, vices, one of the reasons why people or couples fight or break up. If they're manageable, like what Sir Drew said, preferences, they've been with the person before you met the person and ended up with the person, don't rush changing the person because, to fit your preference. But if the vices are being abusive, dangerous, okay, and they are leading to verbal, physical, sexual assault, di ba? Sinasaktan ka na or sinasaktan na niya yung sarili niya or nagnanakaw na siya para lang masustentuhan yung bisyo niya or lahat ng pera niya pinambibili niya lang ng gadget, hindi ka na niya binibigyan ng budget para sa bahay, para sa mga bata, then that is for me a deal breaker. But if you love the person, then it's high time that you do some professional counseling na pag ganun na yung
Intervention.
nangyayari. Yeah, intervention. Okay? So that is number 2, vices. Now we are down to the first one. Can you guess what it is before I up it on the
Oo
screen?
nga.
Magka-poll
Can you
lang
please
tayo.
guess, everyone? Yeah.
Oo. Sa ating mga bantering viewers. Bantering
Viewers.
talaga.
To our
What do
ever
you
so
think?
engaging viewers, what do you think is the top one?
Aha. Sige,
Uh,
before I flash it, Iinom lang ako ng tubig, tao lang.
Uh, Once again, what do you think is our top one reason why couples fight or break up? Please post your answers to the commentator.
Oo.
Yeah. What do you think?
Ayan, may mga comment. Ito na. Sabi ni Larissa, third party. Sabi ni Gray, kabit. Ayan.
Kabit.
Ano kaya? Kabit! Ano kaya ang unang-unang dahilan kung bakit nag-aaway ang mga magjojowa?
May
Sabi
sabi
ni
si Gray, it really
it really
hurts.
hurts.
In
Dance.
Tagalog, in Tagalog, masyakit.
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 Sabi dito ni John, knockout. Anong knockout? Knockout saan? Ayan, so third party, kabet, it really hurts, tukso, knockout. Ayan, sige, wag na natin patagalin. Ayan,
Drum roll,
tukso
please.
daw. Dan.
Dug.
Ayaw nung sound card ko so human drum roll na lang. Okay, so ang pinakaunang dahilan kung bakit nag-aaway or naghihiwalay ang mga magjojowa at mag-asawa ay jealousy.
Jealousy. Anong entry mo doon?
Hindi, jealousy na yung sinabi ko. Jealousy.
Jealousy.
Okay, naglalaro tayo on air, no? On stream.
Oo nga eh.
Okay. Number 1 is jealousy. So, tama si Larissa, si Gray. Ay, si Sir Edward Inong nakahabol sa live stream. Hello, Sir Edward. Kailan tayo magla-live? Ayan. The first reason, or the ultimate probably, reason why people or couple fight or break up is because of jealousy. Jealousy in terms of what? And ito na. Simple flirting with others. Liking other people's photos, lalo na yung mga sexing photos at gwapong photos ng ibang tao. Talking to other people besides your partner. And then, ultimately, cheating. Okay? Or third party, infidelity. Tukso, sabi nga ng ating mga commentators dito, ng ating mga viewers. Natawa sila sa jealousy. Sorry naman. That is an intentional humor right there. Okay. So, totoo naman talaga na yung pinakadahilan kung bakit nag-aaway ang mga magjojowa or mag-asawa is because of selos. Okay? And if you've been following our live streams, we've already tackled, the concept of jealousy in one of our episodes. And we've established there that jealousy is nothing but a genetic thing. Okay? It's part of our genetic makeup. Inevitably, magsiselos tayo. And then there's the concept of insecurity, the concept of trust issues, and so on. Ayan. Bago ko ibigay yung floor kay Sir Drew, Sir Edward Inong said, "Hi, ma'am." Hello, sir. Di ba may time pa akong mag-live stream? So, dinabi-dami ng mga gawain natin bilang mga guro. Push, kailangan natin ng break. Ayan. So, Sir Drew, let's talk about jealousy as one of the ultimate reasons why couples fight or break up. Ay, ayun. Nag-lag si Sergio. Antayin natin siyang makabalik. Ayan. Sabi dito ni Larissa Dizon while we're waiting for Sergio, ayan, kapag may problema kayo ni partner, huwag magpa-comfort sa iba. Oo naman. Diretso kay partner. Ngayon, kung si partner ay hindi willing to converse, mahirap yan. And sabi ni Sir Edward dito, yeah, jealousy is innate. It is. Even God, sabi ko nga, is a jealous God. Gusto niya, siya lang ang ating Panginoon, hindi ba? So, ayun. While waiting for Sir Drew kasi nag-lag yung system niya, let's talk about jealousy as the primary reason kung bakit nag-aaway ang mga couples. First one, flirting with others. Okay. How do I put it? Kasi may mga ibang tao na nasa relasyon na that they're still playful with other people. Probably for them, it's not really offensive or it's not something to worry about. But for their partner, it's something hindi comfortable for them or awkward, or it gives them a sense of or a feeling of insecurity. So I guess it's important to establish that when you are already in a relationship, as much as possible, you do not flirt with other people or the opposite sex. Because when you flirt with them, it tells your partner na you are still interested in meeting other people besides your partner. So how do you really show flirting? It's the simple talking with other people na merong parang alam mo yun, element of romance or sexual tension between you and the person. Or probably you are commenting on the person's pictures on social media and the comments are way too playful and flirty or sexual that it might lead to some interaction between the two of you, 'di ba? And eventually, kung ikaw ay mapusok, you might have the tendency not just to flirt with the person, but in fact, to be in an intimate relationship as well with the person, which can result to cheating. Ayan, sabi dito ni Larissa Dizon, be your partner's comforter. One more thing, kapag may friend ka na may issue sa relationship, wag mo din i-comfort lalo na opposite sex. The other person can be vulnerable and baka mapunta sa delikado, di ba? Exactly. Kasi when you are having troubles with your partner and you try to consult the opposite sex about it, tapos pinagtanungan mo, meron din pala siyang interest sa'yo, di ba? Pwede niyang makita yon as a chance, di ba? A chance for him or for her to be in your life because now you have a comparison and contrast. Hey, look at the person you're with. Sinasaktan ka, hindi ka binibigyan ng attention or whatever. And here I am. I'm not even your partner, but I'm willing to give you everything of my time, of my affection, of my attention. But remember, I'm not saying that this is just, the boys, even the girls may do this. Remember, everybody is nice to you in the beginning. Lahat naman willing to give attention to you in the beginning. Kasi they're interested, there's the thrill, there's the chase. But once they got to know you and they got what they want from you, nagsasubside din yan. So don't be too trusting. Even if they're your friends. Probably, yeah, if the friendship is platonic, you can confide, you can, open up to your friend and there will be no danger in that. But if you know to yourself that the person you are confiding to has some interest in you at whatever level, alam mong hindi talaga platonic yung relationship, as much as possible, don't try to open up to that person anymore. Because you're vulnerable and the person has a thing for you. So vulnerability and interest, they're not a good combo. Yep. Sergio, are you back?
Am I in already? Okay na ba?
Yeah, I can see you on my screen. I could hear you, but you're a little glitchy.
Yeah, I had to troubleshoot some things. Anyways, um, yeah. Where were you
I hope
again?
you heard my
Jealousy, right?
discussion.
Yeah, I was able to. I was
Mm-hmm.
open. I was able to reach you through. Anyways, um, I had an episode about jealousy before, right?
Yep, we did. The
Yeah,
science of
and
jealousy.
yeah. Just to reiterate it, actually, tama naman yung hula nila. In terms of jealousy, it's very different from being envious. Jealousy
Mm-hmm.
is revolves around having another person in a relationship, a third party, uh, nakaagaw mo sa attention and affection of the other person. And we also mentioned that jealousy is both good and bad. Okay?
Yep.
There are some cases jealousy can be good and beneficial kasi it's a sign that you are protective with the relationship that you have. It becomes bad when um, the foundation of your healthy relationship is tampered. So what primarily is your foundation for the relationship? It's those simple two big words: trust
Mm-hmm.
and respect.
Yep.
Okay? Kapag yun naman
Right.
na, then it's hard to rebuild it. As simple as they're hard to rebuild. Mahirap na nga siyang gawan ng pundasyon. Ang hirap pang i-rebuild siya kapag natibag na yung mga yan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, maybe at one time na first warning ka, pero yung first warning lasting
And
kasi
we're losing
effective.
you again.
Losing na ulit. Yeah. Sabi ko, um,
Yep, a little bit.
a little bit. Over time kasi once na it becomes, even though they're very simple concepts or feelings, or yeah, simple concepts, yung effect niya, it lasts for a very long time.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yep. I hope our viewers were able to watch that episode of ours, yung sa Science of Jealousy, because we really talked about jealousy there for about 3 hours too. And we talked about a lot of concepts about it and sub concepts. Now, while Sergio is still fixing his signal, We have another comment right here from Gray. He said, lack of trust in your partner is the root of jealousy. It is actually one of the reasons why we get jealous. Those insecurities, the lack of trust, or probably, some instances that happened in the past that has led us to being jealous. Probably those, breadcrumbs that fell on the floor na parang we did not mind, but, upon gathering all those breadcrumbs, we realized there's something about them. So, yeah, lack of trust or an incident in the past, or basically our lack of security in ourselves, self trust, and self confidence too. And then Larissa De Leon Dizon said right here, it could be both, Sir Gray. Depende kasi yan sa mismong relationship ninyo. Okay? And then Sir Edward Inong said, yeah, flirting with another person, in fact, sends a very strong message to your partner. And madami yon, sa sobrang dami, they will surely cause hurt. Yep. Mm-hmm. So as much as possible, when you are really in a relationship, you have to set your boundaries already. You could be friendly, but not flirty. There's a huge difference right here. Kapag friendly ka, the casual type, you say hello, you say hi, especially if you're friends with the other person. But sabi ko nga, it's hard to qualify or quantify how you address or how you detect, people being flirty with you, because you just sense it. When the words are playful, when there's insinuation, when there are messages behind the message itself, you will know that it's, there is an ulterior motive to the conversation. And then you could also sense if it's just purely platonic naman. But then again, if the other person is flirty and you have no other choice but to talk to the other person, it's best that you could tell your spouse, your partner about it. For example, you have to deal with a workmate, office mate. Kailangan makausap mo through messenger or email. And then your workmate is sending you some flirty messages or insinuations na it's making you uncomfortable. If it's inevitable, there are two possible ways to address this. One, you tell your office mate, I don't really appreciate how the way you talk to me, so probably you could leave it in a very professional manner. Or if that workmate of yours is not willing to change the way he talks to you, then you could tell your spouse na, hey, there's this person that is talking to me because of business or because of work. And fortunately, he's flirting with me. You could be honest with your partner so that your partner knows that you are acknowledging the person's intentions to you, but you are not giving them any attention. You're just acknowledging, okay? But you're not responding to the flirtiness of the person. And you're back, Drew. You hear me?
Yeah. I could, yeah.
Yeah, cool. So I was just replying to Sir Edward Inong's comment. And then another one right here, because there are a lot, I need to up them. Prior to that, I just want to say hello quickly to my cousin Mary Kate Russell Azatin, who's watching right now. Thank you, dear, for joining this late. And then sabi ni Grey Heartfilia, full buster right here. How do you solve jealousy problems? In as much as we would like to answer this in a very in-depth manner, like what we said, we've had an episode for this one already. Again, it goes back to self-trust and trust in the relationship and security in the relationship, and the acknowledgement that jealousy is an innate thing, so you cannot brush it off and take it outside your system or take it off your system. It's there. Just don't
Yeah.
nourish it, don't nurture it to the point na nagiging dangerous na siya. Kasi there are other people who tend to be jealous tapos nakakapatay na sila ng tao, di ba? Sir Drew, you hear me? Your video is not moving, but I'm sensing your audio.
Yeah. I'm still here for you.
All right, cool. Another comment right here. Sino kaya mas matindi magselos? Boys or girls or members of the third sex? I think, I don't know. We need to do some discussion right here. But on top of my head, I would definitely say girls. Mas selosa ang mga babae talaga. Mas nature ng actually, oo. If I remember my research correctly, mas selosa ang mga babae, but boys do get jealous too. Mm-mm. Based on some polls that I've read. All right. And another comment right here, Sir Drew, do you read it? Okay. I think I'll read it. Sabi ni Larissa Dizon, kaya insecure siya kasi hindi mo pinapakita sa kanya yung same affection mo sa opposite sex. A jealous partner can be insecure kasi baka nagkulang ka sa kanya and love ka niya kasi ayaw niya na magkaroon ka ng affection for other people. In addition, Ang mahirap kasi, most of the relationships, ang dami na walang label. Magka-label muna bago magselos. That's another topic to ponder on, relationships without labels. But yes, if relationships do not have labels, what right do we have to get jealous? But going back to your first point, Larissa, this is true that sometimes women tend to be insecure because the partner lacks in that department. Meaning to say, yung partner niya mismo, pinapakita sa partner niya or sa girl na, you have to be insecure because there are other girls who are better than you, which should not be the case. As much as possible, when you are in a relationship, your partner should be the prettiest, the most handsome of them all para maramdaman niya yung security or sense of security na sinasabi mo, Larissa. But realistically speaking, in reality, what happens talaga, kung sino pa yung partner mo, siya pa yung nagpaparamdam sa mga kakulangan mo. And it happens. Let's not be, hypocrite about it. Kung sino pa yung taong mahal mo, siya pa yung nagpaparamdam dun sa mga bagay na wala sa'yo. And it should not be that way. Dapat, yung partner mo, siya yung nagpaparamdam na despite all the things that you don't possess, kahit ang dami-daming babae or lalaki ang mas gwapo or mas maganda sa'yo, in my eyes, you are the prettiest of them all. You are the most handsome of them all. So there's no point or reason for you to be insecure. Ayan. But, like what I said, in relationships, it's inevitable that jealousy arise or can happen because it's natural to happen. What's important here is if we are experiencing jealousy, we have to tell our partners that we do so that could be talked about and it could be addressed immediately. Kasi the more that we brush it off, na parang, okay lang, nagselos lang ako because of this and that, and then you don't tell your partner about it, iisipin ng partner mo, it's okay. Kasi you don't mind. Like for example, may kausap siyang ibang babae, may kausap siyang ibang lalaki, and you don't show your partner that you're jealous, the person might think, oh, hindi naman pala siya nagsiselos. So I think, this is still within the boundaries or, the limits of our relationship na pwede pa pala ako makipag-usap sa iba because he does not mind, she does not mind. So again, it boils down to being honest and communicating what you feel to your partner in a very sensitive and nice way. Ayan, more comments coming from our viewers. Sabi dito ni Gray, thanks po, dami kong learnings. I should be the one thanking you because you've been with us for 3 hours, I think, and you've given us so much input. Similar with Larissa. Alam na pag may jowa na. Pag may jowa na, off limits na kasi. Kaso kasi may mga tao talaga na kahit na may jowa na yung tao, keme na, they don't really mind. If I-flirt ko to, bakit ba? Yun nga ang iba, ang justification pa nila, hindi pa naman yung asawa Or kung mag-asawa na sila, maghihiwalay pa yung mga yan. So, that kind of humor that we infuse in relationships, it's funny, but, if you really think about it, they are offending. Kasi, what are you trying to insinuate? Diba? You don't respect our relationship, so you're willing to do whatever it takes to break the bond that we have or the relationship that we have. And it should not be the case. Respect should be the case. If the person is married in a relationship, even if you're attracted to the person, don't do something about that attraction. Be attracted, but that's just it. Okay? Ayan. And then she gave a smiley and a peace sign. Ayan. I'm hoping that Sergio will be back to wrap things up with me. But if he doesn't, well, I'll be wrapping it up in a bit. But before I do, I just want to say a quick hello to Dawi Pascual UC, who's watching right now. Hello. Thank you so much. And everybody else who's tuned in from the beginning until now, thank you very much. I'm back scrolling right now and looking at the names of those people who joined us a while ago that I wasn't able to say hello to. Let me see. I think Mark Daryl de Ramos was also here a while back. Hello, Da. How are you guys in Laguna? Ayan. And then another comment right here from our friend John from Tondo. He said, thanks for a lot po sa inyo mga ma'am and sir. Good night. Good night as well, John. Thank you for sticking it out with us until this wee hours. And then Larissa also mentioned, ang dami din kasi liberated na third parties. Medyo matapang din kasi. Oo, you know what? Sabi ko nga, the brand or the kind of species that we have in this generation are entirely different or is an entirely different kind of human being. Kasi dati kapag ikaw yung kabit or third party, nahihiya ka. You wouldn't admit it in publicly na, yes, I'm the third party, I'm a homie. Pero ngayon, when you're the third party, you're proud. May mga ganong tao. I wouldn't say lalaki, babae. Basta may mga ganong tao na even if they're the third party, they're the homewrecker as the society tags them, they're proud. They really go out and admit that they are. And they even say na, I'm better than the wife. I'm better than the husband. So, yeah. And you're back.
And I'm back. I'm sorry, everyone. Buhay
It's
troubleshooter.
cool. It's cool. That's what happens when it's internet based,
I know.
All right. I've said a lot about jealousy. So, your final take on jealousy before we wrap things up.
Paano ba? Kasi for one thing, sayang wala tayo parang, please click on this link.
Uh-uh.
Pero just to reiterate, yeah, we made an episode regarding that. I think that was a third to the last episode,
Yeah,
if I'm correct.
I feel
Yeah,
so. It's on
something
YouTube.
like
You
that.
may go back to it. Yep.
Yeah. We had a very in-depth discussion of that. Pero I already heard some of the insights from V a while ago that yeah, great heart to yeah, full buster, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm back. Um, pero sabi nga as V mentioned a while ago that being jealous is normal. And then
Mm-hmm.
before I got disconnected, I think si Grace sabi rin niya na
Okay,
sino
we're
yung
losing him
mas
again. There you go.
yun, yung mas nagkiselos tinatanong niya kung sino mas nagkiselos. Were you able to
Yeah,
answer
the
that
girls or the
already?
boys or the. Yes,
Uh,
I said it's the girls.
um, basically both. Okay? Pero iba ang iba yung tao dito. Ibang way magselos sa mga lalaki, ibang way magselos ang mga babae. Men are more jealous in terms of their sexual adventures or kung ano mang something sexually related. Females are more emotional. So for example, kapag
Mm-hmm.
merong mas merong may mas naglalambing na iba pang tao, yon dun pumapasok. Okay? Now, again, basically it's how can we cure jealousy? There's no cure for jealousy.
Yeah.
What we can do though, again, it's normal, but what we can do is we can challenge those negative thoughts, try to reorganize them in a way, and then practice mindfulness. Meaning, what am I feeling right now? Am I really jealous? Uh, kung nagagalit ka kaagad, kontrolin mo muna yung galit mo. And if you're trying to synthesize what I'm saying right now, mag-upisa ka muna sa sarili mo. Huwag mong i-outburst agad yung selos mo na mag-rant ka na, may sasampalin ka na, magsusuntukin ka na. Bumalik ka ulit sa sarili mo. What am I feeling right now? What should I
Mm-hmm.
do? What am I feeling? What am I thinking? Okay? So, ganun siya.
Yeah. Yeah, like what I told them a while back, you could communicate what you feel, but in a very sensitive and nice way.
Yes. True. Totoo yan.
Mm-mm.
Okay?
Ayan. So again, jealousy is the ultimate reason why couples fight or break up. But among all the things that we've talked about tonight, as much as possible, you do not really need to give your partner a reason to get jealous. You're the
Mm.
first person, or your first task as a boyfriend or as a girlfriend or a husband or a wife is to make sure that 24/7 your partner is secure about what you feel for him or for her. Okay? Because when that work's done, there's no point in getting jealous. Kahit na may kausapin kang iba, you flirt with other girls and flirt with other men. If your partner is secure, he knows how you handle things, she knows how you handle women, then it's a good kind of relationship. It's not the type of relationship that restricts you from meeting other people, but it's also the kind of relationship that is built on trust. Right? Okay. So that's about it. Let's just have a quick recap of the top 10 reasons why couples fight or break up. Number 10 is responsibilities. Number 9, Sir Drew.
Finances.
Okay. Do you hear me? No. There you go. Number 8.
Finances, sabi ko.
Yeah. There's a lag. I feel like you're in the US right now and I'm in Asia. Number 8 is in-laws. Number 7.
Children.
Number 6, we have right here the friends. And number 5.
Preferences and differences.
Number 4, intimacy and romance.
Number 3, time and attention.
Number 2, vices and the ultimate reason.
Altogether, Jealousy.
Jealousy. At least we were on cue. Wala nang lag.
Yeah.
All right. Final take on the top reasons or top 10 reasons, Sir Drew, why couples fight or break up. Final take.
This is somehow quite hard kasi it's um kasi mahirap kasing sitwasyon pag nag-aaway talaga, di ba? It's really,
Yep.
really hard. But please be mindful that having these issues of conflict and arguments, these are inevitable in any relationship. Okay? But as they
Mm-hmm.
are conflicts, as they are problems, hindi nawawala at nawawala ang idea that there will be solutions. Some solutions that are easy, some solutions that are far difficult, some solutions that can be resolved instantly, and some for quite a long period of time. Accepting that there are
Mm-hmm.
problems and there are solutions is the first step in making a relationship work. Okay, so um, what you just need to consider though is it's just a matter of you being mindful and aware of these problems and the choice to solve them and the choice for you to implement those solutions. So let me pose a question for you now, or a challenge maybe. Will you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Ganun lang naman kasi ano. It sounds simple, but it really is a challenge for everyone. Okay?
Yep. Cool. Always insightful, always relevant, right? Ako naman, on my end, again, we're not experts on relationships and everything that we talked about here, you have to, like what we always say, take everything with a grain of salt, or,
Grain of salt.
you have to be skeptic, or, you don't have to take everything
Question.
literally. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Um, to put it simply, a lot of relationships nowadays fail because, unlike before, I've seen this quotation all the time on TikTok, on Google, and whatnot. Sabi niya, the earlier generations, their relationships last because when something breaks, they fix it. They don't throw it. Okay. Our generation today, I feel, is not the same anymore. Our generation tells otherwise, that if something breaks, we throw it away because it is replaceable. But, like an old soul that I am, and probably Sir Drew too, if the person really matters to you, and if the relationship really matters to you, no matter how many breaking points it meets along the process of its growth, as much as you could, don't throw it away, fix it.
Medyo masakit
Okay?
yun, be. Medyo naramdaman ko yun.
Sorry. I know it's too mushy and whatnot, pero I'm not going to I'm not going to wash my hands off of it.
Mm,
I too go through a lot of ups and downs in my relationship. I'm a married person. I've been married for almost 5 years now, or going 6 years, and it wasn't an easy journey, but one thing I learned is there will never be a perfect day. Okay? There will never be a perfect day, but at the end of the day, you have the choice to choose. Are you going to choose the person and the relationship, or are you just going to throw it away because of the problems that you meet along the process? Okay. So, it's really up to you. Okay? Again, if the relationship is abusive, I highly suggest throw it away. Especially if it's, physically abusive, sexually abusive, throw it away. But, if it's a matter of, the simple things, please fight for it. Okay. And an extra icing on the top, something from Larissa Dison, because we have to mention this citation. Sabi niya,
Proper
Sir
citation
Jude,
dapat. According to
you
Dizon
do the honor.
2020, final
Uh-huh.
take is learn to compromise talaga. Being in a relationship is a process. Hindi naman yan perfect. Both of you should adjust and let them know that you are committed. Once again, Dizon 2020.
Yes. Footnoted on the reference list. Yeah. So again, everybody, every relationship goes through some rough patch, but please, as much as possible, don't throw away the relationship, or the person. Work it out.
Yeah.
Okay? Work it out. Mahirap na maghanap ng totoong tao ngayon.
So
I know
yun.
people are replaceable, but not everybody will be genuinely in love, or will genuinely stay in love with you.
So yan.
So when you find that person, no matter how difficult it may be, Stick it out. Aw, I think I need a glass of beer.
I have a whole bottle of wine to my left right now.
Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this episode of Ask V with me, V, and Sir Drew, please be sure that you have subscribed to the channel already. It is Learn with V on YouTube, and soon Sir Drew will have his own channel too. We're just really
Sana.
busy as of the moment.
Yeah, yeah, like really busy, like bloody busy.
I know. My God, me too. I just kind of like I need a breather. So we're doing this tonight, no
Yeah.
matter what. Yeah. All right. So Sir Drew, your final shout outs, hellos, whatever's.
Um, Typical lang. Always be happy, keep safe, be well, be healthy.
Uh-huh. And then Larissa just made me more hungry. Chicken and beer.
Chicken
Next
beer.
Drew.
True. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. And we'll see you once again on another live stream episode of Ask V. It's going to be on Sunday next week. We do hope that you will have a fruitful week ahead of you. It's already
Yes.
mid September. Come think about it. It's about almost Christmas. I forgot
Yeah.
to make a countdown. Let me Google that a little bit. How many days is left before Christmas?
Let me
Who
see.
types faster? How many days left before
Um,
Christmas? So we really Googled it like, oh my gosh, 103 days.
yes.
Imagine that. 103 days, it's already Christmas. Let's stay hopeful as Oscar, the cat of Sir Drew. I'm hearing Oski right now in the
Yeah.
background, right? Let's remain hopeful, faithful to the Lord that, before this 2020 ends, everything will be back to normal. Everybody, you
Yeah.
guys stay safe. Please do not go outside without wearing your face shields and your face masks and,
Yeah.
bringing your alcohol with you. Okay?
True.
And of course, to our viewers for tonight, especially to our Kapuyaters, Larissa Dizon, Grey Heartfilia Fullbuster, John Espera from Tondo, Mamang Sendalves, and like always, my very dear friend, my go-to co-host, my resident co-host, Sir Andrew De Luna. Thank you so much. I love you guys. And we'll see you again next Sunday for another episode of Ask V from the YouTube channel Learn with V. This has been V with Sir Drew. Good night, everybody. We love you. Mwah, 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 mwah. Happy week, everybody. Stay safe. Bye bye. Ciao.